good evening, and welcome to Act 3 of Kult Downfall. I'm your storyteller, Zachary Vaudo. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We've got one more installment where we'll see where our fated five wind up. But let's introduce them before we get into things, starting with Steve.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve, and I will be playing Alex, and let's see where my stomach pains lead me.
And now we move over to Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex, and I'll be playing Audrey the X, and I'm not as excited to see where his stomach pains lead us.
Now to Samantha.
Hi, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I will be playing Tori, the classmate who has just been busy babysitting.
And now to Patrick.
Hi, Patrick, and tonight I am playing Cormac Lynch, and you got a demon baby in you, lad. That's what's going on with your stomach pain.
Yeah, that's fairly accurate.
And Brennan, playing the character of Professor Ozymandias Jones. Ozymandias will appear at a dramatically appropriate moment. As a reminder, one more time, this is a dark and mature game. If you've been following the past two acts, you've discovered that a bit. We're not done yet. On that note, please preserve your stability, your mental health, your comfort level. You may pause this game at any time that you wish and come back to it later, be it on VOD, here, or on the YouTube channel. Our players have been given full permission to pause the game at any point if they so desire. You at home will not notice it, save for a minor cut in the video, but we want to make sure that everything here is happening for everybody's enjoyment and entertainment, as dark as it may be. That being said, are the players ready? Then let us begin Act 3 of Downfall. 5 people in search of a man named Noah, whose life degraded bit by bit until he seemingly vanished without a trace. 5 people, a twin brother, an ex-girlfriend, 2 classmates, and a professor, all with connections to Noah beyond what is observed on the surface. They need to dive deep into the clues that Noah left behind to find him. But they may not like what they find. In fact, they already don't. Minds are beginning to fracture, composure is beginning to falter, and mettle is being tested. At a party known as the Carnival of Flesh, our seekers discovered a world of sin and sensation, and deep within it, a clue to Noah's possible whereabouts. A flyer with an address that matches the delivery location provided by one of Noah's last locations. An event name, 120 Hours of Sodom. Answers are close within their grasp. But not everyone's intentions here are good. Then again, when are they ever? We begin the next morning. All but Tori attended the Carnival of Flesh. You all know the information. You all know that you will need to gather to make your decision on when you want to go. I believe a text message had been sent out to Tori to inform her of this by Cormac previously. So as everybody is getting up and heading over, if there's anything that you would like to do, experience, or accomplish before you all meet at the professor's office, please speak now.
I think Cormac would take advantage of, we'll say, some daylight hours and catch an Uber over to that address. Just poke around a little bit. He doesn't intend on going in per se, but he wants to get the lay of the land first if they're going to be going in here. This is a very critical moment, and he doesn't want the group to be necessarily off guard.
It is understandable. It's a basic address. It seems, though, like the Uber has a bit of difficulty finding it, though you do wind up there. The building itself seems to be abandoned. there doesn't seem to be much sign of anything, anyone. There are no cars parked outside. You hear no noise from where you are standing. The plan to go in early may or may not yield anything, depending on how correct this perception is. But from first glance, things seem quiet. I believe that you are attempting to investigate this location for a specific role, so please roll and add your reason.
All right. It's just a 7.
So you may pick one of the following options. You can find or create a map of the location for use later. You can search for any security systems or other obstacles. Or you can attempt to pinpoint the location of something that you're after at this location.
All right, now, before I make a decision here, what kind of building is this? Are we talking like an old warehouse? Is this an old like apartment complex? What are we looking at here?
It looks like a large apartment building. It looks like a large apartment building. It's a bit wider, or I guess deeper, than one would typically see of an apartment building that takes up this corner of a block. And again, rather abandoned.
All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick walk around, and I'm going to make a map of the exterior. Looking for doors, windows large enough for a person to be able to get through without needing a ladder.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. You circle the building and you take note of here's the front doors, here's the windows that have a fire escape attached to them, here's back doors, here's balconies. And you mark all of these down.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping,
not a difficult task at all.
Okay, and I'm hoping later on that I might be able to sit down with the group and maybe try to come up with a general layout of how we think the inside might be put together, just going off of where everything is. But
sure,
we'll worry about that when the time comes.
No, yeah, that's definitely doable. So with this information in hand, you will depart from the location. Does anybody else wish to explore anything, look into anything, accomplish anything before you all meet up? Okay. Then we'll start in the morning. Audrey, you awake in your room. Alex, you awake on the couch. Alex, please roll and add your fortitude for me, please.
Alrighty. +1 for that. That is a 17 total.
17. You sit up and you feel a wave of nausea, but it doesn't feel like it's about to just kick up on you, which is a marked improvement from the other day. You do, however, feel pretty short of breath. The breathing has become kind of difficult at this point. It's not impossible, just similar to a bit of an asthma attack. Not a critical one, though.
Yeah, I'm just going to probably head over to the washroom and down the rest of that bottle of Pepto.
Yep.
Seemed to have somewhat worked, so I might as well just kill it.
Yes, it has a kind of chalky taste to it as you drink it, and the film just coats the inside of your mouth and the back of your throat, and it's a taste that lingers as you exit the bathroom, and it may just stay there for a while. Hopefully it does the trick, but you continue to feel it. Audrey, how are you doing this morning?
Audrey's probably about the same as she is every morning, which is to say super not great. Mornings are always hard, and it's even harder now that Alex is here in my space, being visible.
Very true. Very true. Could you make a roll for me? Because when we ended the session, you discovered something in your purse that you did not put there. And it was images that, you certainly didn't want to see or recall in this moment. Seems targeted towards you. So could you please roll and add your willpower to it for keeping it together?
11.
You're able to keep things locked down pretty well, but you're going to be thinking about that envelope, those pictures, that message. Don't come. Pretty much until you can get some answers in regards to it. It's not going to occupy your entire mental space, but it's definitely going to be on your mind. Knowing this and knowing what awaits you through the threshold of your bedroom, do you head out into the apartment?
She does, though it seems like every morning she's getting up later and later, whether she's sleeping or just avoiding Alex as much as possible. Hard to say.
And it's understandable to Alex as well, because you guys have had a couple of pretty late nights recently, and rather stressful ones at that. But Alex, you still tasting the residual of the medicine, see Audrey exit her room.
Yeah, it's probably going to be another one of those, like, hey.
Good morning.
Things are feeling a little more tense lately, a little more awkward.
Breakfast?
Coffee in the fridge. The grounds, they keep better there.
Sure. There's no other noodle packets, are there?
Did you go shopping?
No.
Then no.
Yeah, I'm just going to use her shitty coffee maker and make some instant coffee.
Understandable. Is there anything the two of you would like to reflect on from the previous night before?
Nope. Repression
Not
City
together.
over here.
Not together. Very fair. Is there anything that you would like to reflect on silently in regards to the previous night?
I think I'm definitely reflecting on just how caught up both Alex and Cormac were with the whole situation. And I'm probably really, really thankful that Dr. Jones was there and was able to keep like a level head and kind of keep things together. Because clearly these boys can't.
Understandably. It is, it's not going to be easy continuing this journey with people who are so easily swayed and distracted, is it?
No. And I'm concerned that I'm going to have to, and whether I care enough to, keep an even closer eye on them when we have to go to this other party.
Understandably so. Alex, how about you?
He's just super weirded out. And the weirder it gets, the further along we go. So he just kind of wants all this to end.
The coffee doesn't help with the taste. It sort of commingles.
Yep.
Now it's a bitter and chalky taste that just sort of clings to the inside of your throat. It's not helping with the difficulty of breathing. And the lack of actual food does have your stomach cramp suddenly But again, it's not going to debilitate you. It's just very noticeable.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
With a silent, let's call it breakfast, completed, will you two be heading towards the so far established meeting spot or somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay. Tori and Cormac, are you going to be meeting up before you head to the location? I know that Cormac was scouting out the location to start. Tori, are you doing anything in particular this morning before you meet up, either with Cormac or just on your own?
Probably not really. Just the typical coffee. Probably have some sort of, considering I guess it was the previous night that I was babysitting, I probably have added a little bit of I don't know, Irish whiskey or something to my coffee at this point.
Understandably. And yeah, I don't say I can't blame you for that. The babysitting gig went off without a hitch, but can you make me roll and add your soul to it?
$14.
It went off without a hitch, but you heard things. You weren't asked to go in. You weren't asked to participate. But you heard more than the typical party, club night, and sexual romp happening. It sounded, well, it was different from the usual. We'll put it that way. You're not quite sure what it was, but it didn't sound festive. It didn't sound, I guess, for you, normal. It sounded off. And though you didn't hear the words, the general tone has stuck in your mind this entire time. A sort of low hum. You'd almost think it were chanting if there were multiple sounds coming. Or maybe there were, and it was just hard to differentiate them at that point. Whatever it was a little unnerving, and being asked to leave before the party goers didn't really set your mind at ease too much either. So in focusing on this, you're going to drop one stability into uneasy.
Okay.
Not enough to cause major setback or damage, but enough that something is on your mind.
All right.
Now, if you and Cormac are meeting up prior, where would you like to meet?
I'm not entirely sure if Tori would be fine with Cormac stopping by her place.
Yeah, I was about to say she'd probably just tell him to come over because she's not ready to leave yet. So
fair enough. Is this the
Late
first time
riser.
that Cormac has been over?
I think he's probably been by just to maybe trade drugs back and forth. If he had something,
probably not very often, and definitely not without permission or no, you know.
We'll say this is the first personal visit to where he's actually going to be coming in and actually sitting down and having a chat with her.
Fair enough. It can be risky running business out of your home, but if you do it right, it can go just fine. So with Tori's invitation, Cormac, you do depart from the location, your potential destination of the group. Head over. This apartment is not it's not an upscale one like Lee's. It's more of a just walk up in and to the door on your own accord. So what you do, and you knock for Tori to let you in.
It's open.
Cormac opens the door, and he opens the door, steps in. I don't know if the floor is carpeted, he'd be a good guest and take his shoes off.
It's not.
Okay.
I don't think it would be. Is it? I don't know.
This is entirely your decision. You're the one that picked the apartment after all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's probably not carpeted. Yeah,
right.
That's
all right. So Cormac's got the he probably did some fine detailing of the sketch on the Uber back to Tori's apartment. He's got that kind of tucked off to the side. He's got his vape on him. Other than that, he's just gonna sit down. I don't know if she's maybe in her room, not actually like there at the entryway. Yeah, he'll sit down at I don't know,
probably in
like
the kitchen.
Yeah, little kitchenette area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want any coffee?
Yeah. It's over there. Help yourself. Cups are above.
Nice.
Whiskey in the fridge. Actually, and I'm going to take the whiskey back out of the fridge and pour it some more in my coffee. Whiskey's here.
Ah, great. Night. Jameson, you got good taste here. And he takes a swig before starting the coffee. And I might, if you got any spare Adderall on you, I'd buy a pill or two.
Yeah, I think I can manage that. Give me a second. And I'm gonna go like into the back. And I probably would say that I have like some kind of curtain or slide door separating the like living room from where the other rooms are, just to essentially keep anybody from seeing exactly where I go or where anything is back in that area. But yeah, that's what I would go and close that off, and then I'd come back a few minutes later. All right, here you go.
Neat.
And then I'm just gonna hold my hand out.
What, 40, 20? I don't know which. I don't normally deal in pills. I don't know what the rate is right now.
How about you owe me one?
You know what? I've got a spare cartridge on me. If you want to just call it a trade.
Oh, no. I mean, you'll owe me a favor later.
You know what? Yeah, I can get by with that.
Good.
I mean, it's just horse trading after all. You help me out, I help you out. It's for the greater good.
Sure.
True friends pay their friends for their work.
So what's up?
All right, well, last night was a bit of a trip. Have you ever been to the carnival before? The Carnival of Flesh.
Have I, storyteller?
You have not. You actually haven't even heard of this before.
No, that sounds like a new one.
It's think of the rave scene from Blade 2, but it's sex everywhere. It lives up to the name.
Okay, so blood, no blood, red food coloring, water, what?
Fluid. It's all really
Okay.
just.
Was it like out of the you said rave scene?
Well,
and
I mean,
I'm thinking that there had to have been something like showering down. So
the group was plenty wet enough without the extra effect.
the typical sex party then.
Yeah, this was yeah. But no. When let's just say I got a little sidetracked, and
Did you get laid?
not technically. we'll say fun was had. But yeah.
How do you not technically get laid?
I'm not fully aware of what was going on, to tell you the truth. I mean, if I knew full on that I did, I'd let you know. But it was something else. It's not like the usual. It's not like the usual scenes we roll through. This was.
I've told you a dozen times, Cormac, don't do the good shit while you're supposed to be working.
I may have pre-gamed a little too much. That's on me, yeah. But it's not without some reward though. I ended up running into a gal who saw Noah at the same scene last week. I got that information correct, right, storyteller? It was the week prior?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So she saw him last week, pegged him against the bar, according to her.
Uh-huh.
And there were some we'll say they had some interesting aesthetic choices. They were projecting pictures from other parties on the wall, and Noah was in the slideshow. So he was actively playing as of last week.
Well, that's good news.
Aye.
That means he's not dead in a dumpster somewhere. Easier to find, maybe. Just need to set the right trap. Bait. Trap. Bait. Whatever.
Yeah, about that. And I slide over the sketch that I made of the building. Here's the place tonight where the next party is supposed to be at.
Okay.
It's a surprisingly detailed drawing of the exterior of a rundown and abandoned apartment building that I imagine may be labeled as the part of town that it's in.
Now, okay. I stopped over and just scoped the place out real quick before I came over. I didn't go inside. I didn't go snooping around or poking around. I played it smart.
If you're... yeah, totally. But if you're going to be trying to get, some kind of insider information, you should have probably gone inside, because it's just a sketch of a random-ass building at this point.
I know, but... Look, I don't feel...
There's windows. Do they open? There's... doors. Are they...
Any window can be opened if you've got a heavy enough object.
No, they can be broken. That's the difference.
Wow.
Not necessarily opened, but broken. That adds the... it doesn't matter. Good job, Cormac. Bravo. You tried.
At least, look, in this case here, we know where... If things go sideways tonight, we at least know where the exits are. So if we have to scatter, we can. And we're not going to end up getting trapped someplace. Look, I've got to really... There's something off about all of this. This doesn't feel... I mean, not that what we normally do is normal anyway, but this feels different. I mean, how did your night go last night? You haven't said anything.
It was a party. A very noisy, I'm gonna assume kinky party. Weirdly noisy. But hey, I don't kink shame, each their own. I don't care. Still got paid. It's fine.
Now with this, look, with all of this weirdness around, I mean, if you haven't thought about it yet, you need to think about how we make this our exit strategy. I'd like to see you try to get out with me. make a clean a split as possible.
I mean, I have plans.
All right.
Exiting, that all just depends on the payday.
Right, and I'm hoping that we might be able, if we can pull this off and we can parlay the 2-for-1.
Maybe I'll have a big enough payday.
Exactly, that's what I'm hoping for. So if that's not your angle already, you should be thinking about it. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. All right. So what's next? What are we doing today? I'm sure we're supposed to be meeting the duo.
Well, if we've depending on when the professor checks in.
Oh fuck! I forget about the professor.
See, he definitely he was the most level-headed out of all of us there last night, which says a lot. That was
Wait. Excuse me, but do tell me about the girlfriend, please, Audrey. Yes, what happened with Audrey?
Well, let's just say that she's doing a good job of trying to make it seem like she's doing okay. She's not. I mean, you spend enough time around her, you start to see that she's getting twitchier. The more she's around Alex, she's getting twitchier.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
She held it together all right at the party, is what I'm saying, but there's no telling what kind of toll that did.
Did she get high?
Well, she had some drinks. I got Alex high.
Did she take anything?
No. I got Alex high, though.
But did she didn't take anything? She didn't smoke anything? She just drank?
She just drank.
Was she just drinking, like, just throwing them back? Didn't matter?
I think she had just the one to be polite. To be perfectly honest, a fucking White Claw. Of course, she would. I mean, she does have kind of the marmy librarian thing kind of going on right now, so maybe that does kind of track. But I mean, she doesn't strike me as like a rock and rye kind of gal.
A White Claw. Oh. All right. Alcoholic static. Cool.
Not so basic as they say.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
An accent within an accent. It's accentception.
No, that was in character. Tori's like, don't do that again. Don't do that again.
That was a little painful, actually. But
yeah, don't do that again. That's no. Anyway, so yeah, but she held it. Other than that, she held it together. She didn't smoke anything. Didn't take anything. Only have the one White Claw. Fuck. Okay. All right. It's fine. It's fine.
Now she's not on stable ground.
Good.
And I mean,
did she partake at all, like in any of the extracurriculars?
Not that I noticed.
Other than drugs, like did she?
Not that I mean, I was a little occupied. I didn't really see.
Jesus Christ! One job, Cormac. One job. It's fine. All right, cool. No problem. We got it. It's fine.
I made up for it with the map. I'm looking for the upside to all of this. Look, you and I, we've been working together for a while now, and I just want to see this over and done with. I got Alex high. I might be able to look if the opportunity presents itself tomorrow night. I'm just going to toss him to the wolves and be done with it.
Yeah, well, we have to keep at least her Miss Librarian for as long as possible. It's just why I was asking all the questions. I don't mind getting her, like, you know.
Well,
shit-faced or high, but don't need her like doing anything else.
well, and the other thing here, you got to remember we've got the ulterior motive. We've got to be on the lookout for Noah. And if he's still playing, if he wasn't at the last party, he'd be at this one.
Maybe we use her as bait then.
Exactly. That's you get tweak her crazy enough to get her not thinking rationally, and we might be able to spin her and manipulate her however we need.
Hey, Cormac.
Yeah.
Could you please make me a roll and add your willpower?
Of course. Gotta keep. There we go. 8.
The moment that those words leave your lips, following the chain of other words that had come before them about throwing people to the wolves, you feel inherently sick. Like you're not sure why. Nothing happened. But the moment that you started talking about this plan and going in this direction, in particular with Noah, your whole inside just twisted. Like your very body was rebelling against your mind on this. It's uncomfortable. It's unusual.
Dude, if you're gonna be sick, go the fuck outside.
Yeah, look, I'll just see at the professor's. I think I might.
Just go before you like lose it all over my fucking floors, man.
All right, and I make a mad dash out of the apartment, and I'm gasping for fresh air every step of the way.
Okay, can you roll me another 2d10?
Yep.
And I'm looking like after he go, I'm opening the blinds and just watching him go. Like the fuck.
Okay,
10.
10?
Yeah.
You make it outside. You're not throwing up. You stumble through the door and you do bump shoulders with somebody.
Oh, sorry.
And you hear them vaguely under their breath, "Watch it, green card," as they walk inside.
God damn it. That hurt. You fucking asshole. Lucky I didn't throw up all over your fucking shoes, you prick. I keep walking.
They are too far inside at this point. At this point, it's for your own personal benefit.
Cormac's the talk shit well past the safety margin.
Understandable. It's whatever helps you feel better, and you're starting to feel a little bit better now that you're out of that scenario, out of that location. You're still trying to piece it together. Like, it definitely wasn't something that you ate. Was it something that you said? Because that was the only thing that was going on there. But it's something to ruminate on as you head over. Tori, are you heading over on your own to the professors then? You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish my coffee a bit more first and grab some supplies and then head over.
Okay. And you head into your apartment, you head to the elevator downstairs. Can you also roll me 2d10?
Mm-hmm. 14.
Okay. There is one other woman in the elevator with you, older. Nothing happens. You do notice out of the corner of your eye, she keeps sort of like looking at you, like at your clothes, but not anything lingering. It's like she can't stop like scrutinizing.
I'm just gonna smile. Does she have like a handbag or something?
Oh, absolutely.
She's like, oh, I love that handbag. Oh my goodness.
She just gives a very tight-lipped smile.
Pretty sure I saw one just like it the other day at, you know that store downtown, the one with the Baphomet?
It's called Bed Bath and Beyond, honey.
No. I'm talking about the goat devil guy with the sitting on the throne. Yeah, totally. They've got those in there. Good choice. I'm so proud. We need more people really supporting local. Have a nice day.
The elevator dings and you head out ahead of her. And all four of you at your own pace make your way to Georgia State University and up to the building, through the halls, to the door of Professor Jones's office. The professor's door is closed, but trying the handle, it turns, the door does open, and Professor Jones is sitting at his desk as the four of you walk in. Professor Jones, to the rest of you, looks like he hasn't slept for a few days, even though it's been one night since the last time you saw him. The man looks exhausted, a little paler than normal, but he's still there. He's present, and he sees you all walk in to his office.
Yo, you look like you need some coffee.
I'm good. I got coffee and bagels, but I appreciate it.
Maybe you need a little something else then, because that's not doing you any favors. I'm just gonna hold up my bag and just kind of shake it a little.
I'll pass this time, but I appreciate the thought. It's so like you to always be thinking about others. I appreciate it.
I try.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, a little worse for wear, but we're at a university and nobody sleeps every night, right?
Well, see, that's for us young bucks, to... Yeah, I mean, your faculty, you're supposed to be the one rolling in late and just kind of doing your own thing. And
I mean, now hold on, I'm not that much older than you.
Well,
I'm no pharmacy major, but...
Well, I mean, everyone I talk to says there's a big difference between 21 and 31, so...
I'm starting to feel that. Maybe I can't keep up, but I gotta try.
Drink more water.
Yeah. Is that what you learned in pharmacy school?
I mean, that's just general knowledge. The more water you drink, the better you feel. It's good for you.
Vitamins.
Multivitamin wouldn't hurt either. I may have one of those if you want one.
Is it just a multivitamin?
Yes, it's just a multivitamin. It's even in the container. Hold on.
Is it one of the gummy kinds?
I don't think that it's a gummy. I think it's just a regular multivitamin.
Oh.
I'm going to hold up just a multivitamin.
Talk to me when you get the gummy bear ones.
I got Flintstones. Does that count?
Actually,
yes.
You know what? I'll take one of those, actually.
I'm going to open it up and give them both the Flintstone vitamins.
Flintstones I can work with. You see,
And
that's
just for
a
the
face
sake
you
of
can
asking.
trust.
Yeah, just for the sake of asking, Tori, these are 100% on the level Flintstone vitamins?
Yeah, these ones are Flintstone vitamins.
Okay.
I take the Flintstone vitamins.
Okay.
The other ones were not Flintstone vitamins.
Right there.
They were not vitamins at all.
Alex and Audrey, can you both roll and add your willpower? Actually, you know what? Add your coolness.
Against Flintstone vitamins. Ooh. Let's see.
16 for me.
11 because I have -1.
Okay. Audrey, you're still a little head caught up in the letter and whatnot, so you're not really engaging in this a whole lot. Alex, maybe it's the sort of the continual aches and pains and discomfort and that feeling in your throat that still feels coated and bitter. Maybe it's just the looming sense of everything, but it's getting a little irritating. Come all this way. You've got this information, and everybody's just shown up and just now sort of joking about vitamins and coffee, like the five of you just got together just to chill today instead of, save your brother.
Can we get on task a little bit?
What about you two? You both look like you could use a Flintstone.
No.
Yeah, let's figure out what we're going to be doing, because I'm assuming we're not here to talk about Tori's nocturnal pharmacy.
I've already got that covered a little bit here. Cormac's going to present the exterior map of the building. Was a little Alex, you'll be pleased to know I was being a bit proactive here, and I scoped the place out already. I didn't go inside. I didn't want to be poking around where I wasn't invited by myself. But we at least know the literal ins and outs of the building.
We don't know if any of them are locked or can be opened, but we know that there are ins and outs of the building.
And I pointed out that any window can be opened if you've got something heavy enough.
Couldn't we have done that research on Google Maps?
Look, Google Maps isn't gonna, have you actually played around with the 3D scaling? It doesn't show you a very good detailed, you get the street view, you get the front, you get the frontage, you don't get the back. And then Google Earth, you just get the overhead, you don't actually get where the doors and the windows are.
To Cormac's credit, this is a 360 view that he has drawn out of the building.
I mean, if I were to hand this off to someone, in the engineering department, they'd probably be able to come up with a rough blueprint of the place.
Did you look through any of these windows when you were sketching them so well?
Not really. Like I said, I wasn't going to be snooping someplace I wasn't invited by myself. I'm not stupid.
You had time to draw out a 3D map.
Tori's just just chilling and kind of leaned up and against the wall. She's just got this giant smirk on her face, not saying a word. Just
you couldn't take pictures through the window, Harriet the Spy? Come on.
Look,
let's not throw Irish under the bus for how he got his information. He got some good information here.
Yeah, but you have a phone, right?
I have a phone.
Cool.
A camera?
Yeah, there's a little thing in there. It looks like camera. Click on that, and then you can take photos.
Or video.
Cormac's gonna turn and just kind of give Tori a look, and not really say anything. All right, hey, I could have just fucked off, gotten high all morning, and not done anything. I at least did something. All right, I'm sorry that it wasn't to everyone's high level of expectations here. It's just these kinds of people that through these sort of events, they don't take kindly to strangers snooping around when the party's not going
hold
on.
Sorry, Irish. I hate to dogpile, but this is perfect opportunity. I'm going to go over to my my drawer. I'm going to pull out a little gold star sticker. I'm going to put it on your shirt.
Aw, see, we're all so very proud of you, Corey.
Cormac, how are you feeling about being talked to like this?
Not very good at all. I am going to have to make a roll for something here. I was going to actually suggest it.
You are, and you'll have to add your willpower to it.
You can change the game. You can change the character names. I love you
Chill out,
guys.
Picasso.
Dynamics are dynamics.
Yep, I love you guys. All right, and it was add
Just
what?
saying, they had a better point than I did. You have a phone with a camera.
That's fair. Willpower is the add-on.
Okay. This is the first time I've actually rolled high this entire game. That is a 19.
It's a little unfortunate how used to this you are, to the point where it doesn't truly bother you. But maybe it's because you're taking solace in the fact that you're right. You could have just fucked off and gotten high all morning, but you went and did something. What exactly did everybody else do?
Valid point there. And, yeah. Did anyone else actually do anything today?
I made coffee.
So did I.
I gave you coffee.
Whoa, wait a minute. I made that coffee.
I provided coffee.
Let's not go taking credit for things you didn't do. I mean, nobody's Picasso over here.
All right.
I pointed out that we don't know if any of the doors or what is open and are accessible.
Look,
All right, you know what? Fair enough. Cormac, you did good work. You think that you can take this to an engineering department and get a blueprint? Get a blueprint.
all right, well, give me 5 minutes, and I'll see if I can track someone down. And I'm actually going to. I'm no shit gonna go hang around the engineering department, and I'm gonna see if I can. Hey, can I pick your brain here real quick? There's got to
parties tonight. We've got all day.
I have a question. This is a building. It is, you said downtown? Yeah, right. Okay. An older building?
Yes, it looks abandoned.
Can I make a call or something to like the public library? Usually blueprints and stuff like that are on public on file.
I will have you both roll since you're both trying to do this in different capacities.
I'm doing it just to be a bitch.
Of course. But I would say Tori, add your reason due to the investigation subclass of it, and Cormac, add your charisma since you were trying to catch somebody's attention to actually assist you on this.
All right, that's an 18 for me.
Okay.
17.
Okay. We'll start with Cormac. You do manage to pull somebody's attention from the Urban Institute, Urban Transformations at Georgia State. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I'm kind of working on I'm trying to touch base with someone over with the CGI, the out of character and brain farting computer graphic design department.
Sure.
There. I'm working with someone in graphic design. This is for a film project that I'm working on, and I was wondering if you could maybe just do me a favor, if you had a quick 10 minutes, maybe do a quick mock-up of how this building would be put together, like hallways and stuff.
I guess. Yeah. Is this the whole drawing?
Yeah. And I give details as far as how many stories and yeah.
Yeah. What area of town is this?
Wow.
Supposed to be or is it even in this town or?
Oh no, it's in town.
Okay.
And I give the general neighborhood.
Okay. Because yeah, I mean, I guess I can scan this into CAD and do a general idea.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. But how long do you think it's going to take?
2-3 hours, since I'm kind of making it up because I'm going off of an external drawing of an internal building.
Think of it as a creative design project, and reach into my blazer. offer a cartridge. I'm willing to. Don't have much in the way of cash. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to trade in kind.
What are we talking?
Oh, it's some of the THC cartridges that are coming out of nearest local state, because I know Georgia is illegal. I don't even know off the top of my head where. Yeah.
I don't need to be sleepy. Do you have the opposite of that?
I know someone who knows someone who can get you that.
Sure. Bring it back.
Yeah, give me your number and I'll pass it on.
Okay. Yeah, and he just plugs your number into the phone, takes the drawing. He goes, "Yeah, just I'll be here."
Okay.
And he walks in to the classroom.
Yeah, just give me a call when it's done, and I'll pass your info on. What's your name, real quick?
Jake.
All right, Jake. Cool. Someone will be reaching out to you here real quick.
Okay.
And I make my way back to the professor's office.
Great. In the meantime, while all this is happening, Tori, you have called the local library within the city of Atlanta. And
Yes.
some rings, some transfers, you managed to get to who in particular you were trying to reach at the library. And a woman's voice answers the phone. Hello?
Yeah. Hi, I'm over at the college and I'm working on a project. Modern architecture versus the older antiquities style. So I was wondering, do you happen to have a copy of the blueprints for a dress building?
I can check. We might have them on file. Might have them digitized, or they might be at a different branch. When were you needing these by?
Oh, as soon as possible. I've got a deadline actually. Kind of need it done within the next hour or two, honestly.
That might be a little quick, but I can. Yeah, if you want, I can put you on hold, and I can see maybe if they're here.
Oh yeah, totally. That'd be great.
Okay, yeah, just a second, and the line goes on hold. And she comes back. It looks like they're actually not at this branch. I haven't really figured out which branch they are at. You might get a faster result Googling if you've already got the address and know what you're looking for. I'm not sure, but yeah, unfortunately, it's not over here.
Okay, no problem. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But thanks, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You sound really familiar. Who is this? And line goes dead. And at this time, Cormac comes back.
I come back into the office. I got a hold of one of the engineering guys. He's gonna work with that. He said it'll be a couple hours, and kind of saddle up over to Tori. And I got some business for you too. And I pass on Jake's contact info.
Jake from engineering?
Oh, yeah. Well,
that fucker owes me money. Is he there now?
Yeah, he's the one working on the design.
Oh, he owes me a good bit of money. Thank you. I've been looking for that little fucker.
Would you mind maybe taking a little bit off of the bill here in exchange for him doing the work on with the...
Fuck no, Google that shit. I just talked to a librarian. She says it's probably online right now.
Cormac blushes. Because of course, yeah, why not? Just JFGI. And he sits down and he pulls out his smartphone and he's just...
I thought it was a pretty cool idea, champ.
I was letting you run with it. Yeah, but hell no, I'm not giving Jake fucking a... No. He owes me a lot of money. I'm gonna go collect that, actually.
Hey, Silver Lining, you got his phone number now at least. Shit.
Oh yeah, totally. I can get the guys from IT to maybe track his phone, so I'll know where he's at all times. It's no problem.
Good to know.
Not entirely useless.
No, I never said you were useless.
Not entirely.
I feel like Alex and Audrey are just like making eye contact through this whole thing.
Yep. Audrey, Alex, the thought process again comes to mind. You know, you're doing something now, but it seems rather hyperfixated on this one point, as opposed to all the information that you guys got the previous day, the notion of this party. You already know where it is, you know that Noah had things shipped here. There's a lot of focus going on between these two of the building in particular, and not the circumstances around the building. I leave up to you how you feel about that.
Why are we not going?
Because it's not time to go yet.
Okay, but like, shouldn't we go early? Like, you guys get that we're not actually going to a party, right?
You guys get that if you don't go when it's appropriately timed for you to be there, that the odds of you getting roughed up or worse and then not being able to go back later are really fucking high.
And let's brainstorm for a minute. If we wanted to go there now, which seems like a good idea. Best case scenario, we have to break in, set off some alarms. People are going to know that people are looking at the place. Maybe the party gets canceled and we lose our lead. I think we've got time to research and try and figure out exactly what we want to do here.
And this is why I didn't go rushing in by myself.
Okay, or Noah's having stuff delivered there because he's either there or planning to be there soon, so we take Lady Drugs and say that she's there to deliver the party favors. Gets us in the door early, we're there to set up. I mean, if it's anything like the party last night, there was a full bar, they had the light majigger. Like, that stuff doesn't get set up 20 minutes beforehand.
The thing is, though, Audrey, is that most of those people know me, and I don't ever show up early.
Look.
There's not really anything to set up when you sell drugs. You just carry them on you, and people find you.
Yeah.
So tell them you're there with something new to debut. You're there to test something
It's not
out.
like I'm gonna set up like a try me stand.
I bet they'd all take it if you did, and then we wouldn't have to worry about getting roughed up, would we?
Examples.
You know what? Let me make this up as offer this as a olive branch for, we'll say, being a little slow on the uptake. I just look at Alex for a moment. You know, I think at the end of the day, you can get us in and out. You do look enough like him. Look, if you're wanting to go in ahead of time, I owe your brother at least that much. If you want to go in, I'll come along. And I can at least run interference if things go sideways, and you can let everyone else know what's up.
And what if the sideways is the same face answering the door?
Then we found my brother.
And then we don't have to worry about going to no creepy, freaky, deaky sex party. I mean, unless that's your thing. I mean, I had a little too much fun last night myself, but...
I mean, you two could go and the three of us could wait in the car. I mean, if you find Noah there, I plan to be there when you find him.
If you guys go, I'll go, but
Alex, if you're hell bent on this, I'll back your play. We'll go early.
I think
All
it's
right.
a bad idea.
I know it's a bad idea, but look, there's a lot of time between now and then. If certain individuals are getting a little impatient with having to take the short or the long way around, it's only a matter of time before someone does something irrational, and then we're having to improvise. So,
Like we are right now by going early.
Well, we definitely shouldn't go as late as we went to the party last night. There was like 100 people there. Noah could have been in literally the very next room and we would never have known it.
No, we don't go that
Full
late.
swing party.
Well, then there's got to be some kind of better plan than just going over there, right?
Honestly, probably shouldn't even go together. We should probably split up a little bit. That way it doesn't look odd.
wait a minute. Let me tack something on here. If we're gonna be leaning on Alex being the stand-in for Noah, I hate to ask, do you still have his kit? If we're gonna be needing anything to help us squidge through the door, it's gonna be paraphernalia.
Okay, so wait. You do realize if you're wanting to use Alex as Noah, if somebody tells the real Noah that they just saw Noah somewhere else, he's totally going to know that Alex is there. And then he's just going to bail.
Fine. Look, I'm very much just along for the ride here. I've done my share, and I'm just gonna yield to whatever y'all want to do.
Look.
Using that logic, if I show up at all,
All right, so say you guys show up and you make your way, like, upstairs or somewhere off to the side, somewhere where you're wallflowering it, dark corner somewhere, and just watch. Stand there, stay there, observe, watch. Cormac and I, we can move through the crowd. That's what we do anyway.
Oh, is that what
If-
you do?
Noah,
Are you talking about at a not party?
at a what?
You're talking about going early, right?
No, like once it starts, move through the crowd. If he's there, we'll find him.
I've seen Cormac move through the crowd. He kind of gets lost.
Stuck is the word I might use.
That's very fair. I moved through the fucking crowd.
yeah, it's kind of an understatement.
Typically, though, I'm really good about keeping him in check, honestly. That's
Dude,
why
that-
we work together.
I mean, whatever we do, I think we have to stick together. It's pretty obvious to anybody here that this is a pretty sketchy situation, right? I mean,
Almost
how
definitely.
much harder would it have been to make it out of the last party if we weren't, at least tugging each other's strings?
I agree. I don't think splitting up's a good idea.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where I think everybody got lost from each other.
Look, Tori and I, we work together for a reason, and honestly, I think if we're together and we're doing our thing like we normally do in these sorts of situations, I'm not going to be running into near as many problems as what I did this last night.
Then you can do it together with us.
That's fine with me. I was trying to pose a possible course of action if we wanted to go early, since that seemed to be that was the
So we're
direction
going to be
people
our
wanted to
best
move.
ways in anyway. If we have to get
Fine.
into back rooms, if we have to get into the creepy sex basement, you two are going to be our key in.
And
All right, fine, but you, little miss library, look, you're gonna have to do something different. You were easy to spot from like a mile away.
Seems like it's not such a problem once the party gets rolling.
We're kind of trying to avoid drawing suspicion. Maybe vixen it up a little bit.
Get your
What does
little
that
red
mean?
lipstick. Do you have some red lipstick?
No, who owns red lipstick? I'm not a whore.
Anyone trying to make a statement owns red lipstick. Here, do you have blue? I can let you have some of mine.
You know, I own red lipstick even.
Well, that says stuff about you.
Yeah, we know you're a whore.
And
That'd
you
be a fair
not
assessment
Noah.
based on last night.
Yeah, well, you know, if the shoe fits, you lace it up and you walk a few miles.
And not Noah needs to wear like a hat or hoodie or something and keep it up. We don't need people mistaking you for Noah and then it getting back to Noah that he's already apparently there.
Wait, is there like a kind of a masquerade thing with this or something? Like, is there like a mask thing potentially? I don't know.
Not
It's like, it seems like a.
It just depends on the host. They kind of they kind of set the you kind of know when you get there.
I mean, if we're going into the Eyes Wide Shut house anyway, there probably is some kind of a mask at the door.
Last time I checked, this one wasn't themed Eyes Wide Shut.
And if anything we saw last night is something to go off of, I think masks might have gotten in the way of some of the stuff we saw.
Well,
Yeah, that's fair.
because if these parties are, we'll say, successful, usually it doesn't matter what you come in dressed like anyway, if you're lucky if you leave with everything on. But, no, Audrey, the unfortunate reality of the situation is you come off as a little vanilla
Very vanilla.
for these sorts of gatherings.
I was going to say Daphne from Scooby Doo, but yeah.
No, I'd say no. Spend enough time on the internet. The Daphne's got a very devout following.
I mean,
There's a
Big as
kink for
Velma,
that.
though.
What
Yeah.
does that even mean?
Velma's got more of a.
It means you look like you are. It means that the very thought of going to a gathering like this repulses you, and stepping through the front door makes it even worse.
You'll also look like a target.
Yeah, a lot of people got kinks like that too sometimes.
Audrey, it does repulse you a little bit, the concept of being immersed in an area, in a room where things are going on so similar to what you've experienced. But are you going to let that stop you from finding Noah?
Nope. There's nothing they can throw at me that'll stop me.
What are you going to do about it then?
Well, I do still have a couple of those outfits Noah bought me towards the end.
Do you think you can make it through revisiting that?
I don't think it matters if I think I can make it through or not.
Okay. Then you have a way in. And you have a counter to everybody's assumption of you.
Look, I'll take care of it. I'll figure something out, and I won't look like Daphne or Velma or a flavor of ice cream of any sort.
I look to Tori. Do you maybe the two of you could go do a little shopping, maybe?
Sure.
I said I'd take care of it.
Look, it's Tori and I know the scenes. And we know how to make an impression without making you look like you're an easy target.
Audrey, please roll 2d10 and add your coolness.
Hey. That's an 8.
You said you can handle this. Didn't you?
I did.
Somebody is not listening to you, are they?
They are not.
How does that make you feel?
Underestimated, infantilized. And as the two of them are doing their, you take her shopping, Audrey is like, I said I would handle it. I know how to use Google. I know what women wear. I don't need anyone's help picking a fucking bra.
All right, Miss Independent. Do your shit.
There's some steel in there then. Okay.
And Professor, you may want to lose the blazer.
Now keep the blazer, lose the shirt.
Yeah, that one would work better. You're right. Good call.
Whatever it takes to fit in.
Well, it seems like you all have a plan. But did we land on the when? Are we going with Tori and Professor Jones's suggestion that going during the party is the most reasonable time? Or are we going with the other suggestion that going earlier may yield less danger? Alex, I feel as though the situation was put to you.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean more towards the going during the party thing, because that seems to be a little bit easier for Alex to keep his head down.
This makes sense. Are you going to level this decision for the group?
Yeah. So we should probably go during the party. It seems a little easier to keep me obfuscated, and it'll give Audrey time to Google whatever she needs to Google and how women look.
All right, he's your brother. It's your call. That's fine by me.
Well, we should probably not all show up at the same time necessarily, just to keep the suspicion down. But once we get inside, we should all not too far in gather. So if we get too far in, it'll just end up like last night.
Sounds good to me.
Most definitely. Well, Tori, maybe you and I can go stop in and check and see if Jake's got the map done yet. Pay him a little joint visit, as it were.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it is one day now, since it was 2 days before, until 120 days of Sodom. You have all agreed to regroup at the building for the party to see what you can find. And we're going to break there so that we can rest, recoup, and prepare for the final section of the final act. And welcome back to Downfall. Our 5 characters have been through quite an ordeal, but we're not done just yet. The next night comes the night of the party, 120 hours of Sodom, at a location that was discovered in connection with Noah, where he made some deliveries from local sex shops. And the group hopes that they'll be able to find him here. He seemed to be at the last party that they were at previously. He's not anywhere where he's supposed to be. So maybe, just maybe, if they continue to follow the spiral down, they'll find him towards the bottom. I believe that you 5 had discussed previously arriving separately. Is that still going to be the case?
I believe so, yeah.
Great. I'm going to divide you up into groups, into sections of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And I'll roll and see who shows up when. We'll start with Alex. Alex, you are the first to arrive. The building is pretty exact to how Cormac had it drawn out and how Jake had 3D rendered it, even with or especially with some further intimidations from a surprise visit from Tori. But it's pretty accurate on the outside. Looks the way they expect it to be. Unlike when Cormac visited, though, it's not quiet. It doesn't feel abandoned. There are still no cars, but there are lights on various windows, and you hear a gentle, low, throbbing bass coming from inside. You hear more sounds intermixed with it, but it's hard to tell what it is. But this is definitely the place.
Do we have invitations, I believe?
You found a flyer at the previous party, which would indicate that it's open to whoever sees it.
All right. The low throbbing, is that affecting my mild indigestion?
I'm so glad that you asked. Please make that roll for me, adding your fortitude.
Teacher, do we have homework that you haven't collected yet?
What a self-snitch.
Right?
Let's see. 13 on the roll, 2 willpower, so 15.
Okay. It is not affecting that nausea, but the closer that you've gotten, the tighter you have felt your stomach knot. It's starting to be feel a bit more like a rock in your midsection than anything else. Your joints are achy. You feel a bit more bloated. Your chest feels a bit heavy. It's been a day, and that coated feeling still hasn't quite gone away. Can you make me an additional roll?
All right.
It's 2d10 as always, and could you please add your soul into it?
So 9 on the roll, and soul is +1, so 10.
The more that you feel inside of you move, the more you could swear the building is reflecting this, that it's sort of moving in rhythm with the bass, a sort of not shaking, not quaking, but breathing, swelling and compressing with the music. The more intense you feel your insides, the more distorted it looks. You're not sure if this is wavy vision or not, but something about it just feels alive. Like the life from the party is permeating the very walls and floors of this building.
I'm going to take a swig of the Pepto-Bismol that I picked up.
You get the last of it down.
And I toss the canister aside.
Toss it aside. It's not that great of a part of town anyway. Nobody's going to notice one more bottle on the street. You look back up at the various lights lighting up the windows, including two towards the top that are very glowing and radiant yellow.
I'm going to go up to the building, like just unsteady on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Try to like make my way over there.
Okay. Are you going to go inside the building or are you going to wait for everybody?
Initially, the plan was to go ahead inside, just meet like a little bit on the inside. But yeah, the uneasiness and queasiness and the thing in the back of my throat. Yeah, I'm just not going to.
It's understandable.
Just going to lean up against something on the outside.
So with Alex posted up at the entrance, we're going to move to Cormac. Cormac, you get out of your Uber. It's exactly where you remember it. It looks the exact same. But you hear the music. You see the lights. You see somebody like just sort of posted up outside the front door, leaned up against the little overhang. Once again, no cars, no vehicles of any kind, but there's something going on inside.
It's an abandoned building. Don't want to draw too much attention to it. Having a bunch of cars in the neighborhood would definitely stick out.
Absolutely. Plus, there's plenty of like parking lots around here. For all you know, there are cars there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just take one last quick drag on my vape, and then I'm going to approach who I think is the doorman here, keeping an eye out.
You approach the hooded figure leaning against the door frame and are surprised at just how much it looks like Alex. Oh, wait, it is Alex. He's waiting outside.
Hey, thought we were supposed to go in, like, separate.
Just wait here for everybody. Like it's, I don't know, getting a feeling, getting a vibe.
You've definitely been a bit green around the gills here. Basically ever since after that first night. Are you feeling okay? Like, have you gotten checked out?
I can do this.
All right. Look, as I said, I'm doing this because he's your brother. Noah was a good guy. Whatever's happening to him, it's not right. There's something wrong here. And I wanna see this through for both you and him. Okay? So look, you need to promise me after tonight, if we can't find him here, you're going to take a day or two off, go to hospital, get checked out. All right?
That seems reasonable.
And also, something tells me that after tonight, you're probably not going to be able to rely on Audrey's good graces. If you need a place to crash, you can come stay with me.
That also seems reasonable.
So, if you liked what I gave you the last time, I've got more. If you wanted to pregame a bit.
No, not this time.
All right, suit yourself. Take a drag. Look, now that I'm here, let's stick to the plan. You stick by me, I'll keep an eye on you. All right, let's just stick with the plan, wait for everyone else.
All right.
And if Alex needs to lean against Cormac, Cormac's going to do what he can to keep Alex comfortable.
Haven't actually moved from leaning up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Alex, are you going to use Cormac for support?
No, I'll stick with the wall.
Okay. Well, I believe Cormac was intending on going in. Are you going with him as he suggested, or are you waiting out here and seeing if Cormac stays with you?
I'll wait.
Okay, then if he's waiting, Cormac, are you going in alone?
I'm going to stick with the plan. I'm going to go in.
Okay. You walk inside. Ground floor is empty. You hear the music. It's coming from... It's hard to tell. It's coming from down the hall or upstairs, or... It's not here. Here is empty food packaging, cardboard, occasional pieces of clothing, and blankets. There's some syringes. There's bottles. It's an abandoned building. You're going to walk towards the... You're going to try to walk towards the sounds to find your way.
Yeah. Then if something catches my attention other than the music, I'm making the music my primary focus, but if something catches my interest, I'm going to turn my attention to that instead.
Okay, well then let's use your enhanced awareness. So roll and add your soul into it.
Sounds good. $10.
Okay. So you're focusing on the music and you're walking. You turn down a hallway. You're focusing on the music, trying to figure out where it is, look for signs of a party, not just sounds. There's a lot of doors here. You can't really spend all your time opening every door. You turn down another hallway, trying to find signs of a party. As you turn down another hallway. Professor Jones.
Yes.
You show up. You're walking down the block a bit, finishing up a phone call. Before you approach the building, it's at the location that was deigned to you by everybody else. It looks the same as the design. You hear the music. You see the lights.
I'll take a deep breath. And do I see Alex outside?
As you walk towards the building, you do see a figure in a hoodie leaning up against the overhang of the apartment.
I'll approach him thinking that he's the doorman, just like Cormac did.
And you do. And you, too, are surprised to see that it looks just like Alex because it is Alex.
You don't look so good.
Yeah. I don't feel so great.
What's going through your head?
I don't know what we're going to find in there.
Might not find anything.
That's kind of concerning as well.
Listen, I know you want to find your brother and all that, but you're not going to be able to find him if you're out in some gutter at this party.
Yeah, it's fair.
Do you think you're good to go in?
I think so.
Because if not, you've got us here. At least a couple of us are clearly looking for your brother. You can call it a night.
No, I gotta find out.
And if you can't,
Then I guess we'll light that bridge on fire when we get to it.
all right. Do you want to go in?
Yeah, I guess I'll start to wander in with him at this point.
Okay. Are the two of you walking together?
I have no problem going in with him.
Yeah.
Okay. You see the same sight upon entering. You see the debris and the detritus on the ground. Alex, can you roll and add your soul?
Oh, shit. It's going to suck. That is a 4 on the roll and a 1 with the soul. So that is a grand total of 5.
Before I continue, can you also roll and add your fortitude?
Come on, crappy roll. It wasn't so crappy. That's a 12 total, 10 on the roll.
All right. So you step in, you see all of the debris, the syringes, the bottles, the clothings, the fingers, the feet, the scraps of skin, the intestines that seem to line their way down a hallway, stretching out the full length. You can smell the rot and the decay, that old, molded, coppery smell that permeates the air and sticks in your nose. The coating in your throat seems to hold on to the scent of it, and you can almost taste it in the back of your throat. It makes your stomach twist in a way that has you double over on the spot. It feels like you got kicked. You feel it bubble, and you do throw up. You will not sustain any damage from this, but Professor Jones, Alex, upon stepping through the door, has reeled and vomited.
Did I experience any of what he just experienced?
Experience what?
All right. I'm gonna try and get him back out.
That's easy enough.
All right. I'm gonna get him out back out where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm gonna call him an Uber to go home.
Okay.
No, I can do this. How are you not affected by that?
By what?
Did you not any of that? Nothing? You didn't
A grimy party just like the last one.
You're one sick fuck.
Professor Jones, as you're attempting to parse this out, it's very faint and it's very quiet to the point where only you can hear it. But you hear on the wind 4 words brush past your ear in a very familiar voice. He sees too much.
You can't see. Is this the regular party at your college?
Apparently so, but I don't think you're seeing the right thing.
What do you mean? How is it?
I mean, how long have you been here? How much sleep have you gotten? How much food have you eaten? Like, where's your head at right now?
Like, you didn't see the hallway of like intestines in there.
What? No. Is that a
You
band?
sure? No. There was like the hallway. It was like intestines and pieces of people.
Yeah. I still called the Uber.
He is a danger. He sees too much.
Honestly, I think you got to get out of here. I think you need some rest. We can catch you up on this party.
You didn't see any of that.
No.
Huh.
A car pulls up, but somebody steps out of it. It is not an Uber that you have called. Audrey steps out of it. Audrey, you see the building. You hear the music. You see the lights. You see two people out front. One is in a hoodie, and the other is Professor Jones, who appears to have taken the advice about blazer only for the party.
So Audrey just takes a second to shake her head because, of course, we can't follow a plan ever at any point. Though that's probably for the best anyway. Yes, except Cormac, who I see is not here and therefore I assume has bailed like the wuss he is. And then I'm going to walk up to these two.
Okay, and you
Audrey
do hear...
is not dressed the way she was.
No, she is not. You hear them before they see you, because it sounds like Professor Jones is trying to convince Alex to go home, and Alex is very frenetically trying to convince him of of something that he saw inside.
Like that was some crazy shit. How did you not see that?
Because there's nothing in there.
Is it any crazier than the last party?
Yeah.
You two hear this, and Alex, you say yes, you turn. Professor Jones, you turn. Audrey is, as she stated, not wearing what she's been wearing before. She's in full black. It is not. It's not up to the neck. She has a. Do you still have the collar on? Are you attempting to cover it, or do you leave it open?
I'm going to leave it open.
So you two see a bit of a scarring around the neck. It juxtaposes against the blonde hair and the black clothing. She looks like she's supposed to be here. Much more than you two do.
We're trying to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Alex isn't doing so hot.
What's the problem?
He's seeing stuff. He's throwing up all over the place. He's not.
Did you take some of Tori's pills or something, or one of Cormac's cartridges?
No. Actually, Cormac went inside already.
Huh.
He offered, but I didn't. But how the fuck do you not see that?
Audrey, why don't you take a look? Maybe I'm the crazy one.
All right, I'm going to go take a look.
Okay. Audrey, can you roll and add your soul?
Oh, no. Uh, 15.
Are you stepping fully into the building, or are you just looking through?
Based on their description, at first I should say based on Alex's reaction, at first I'm just gonna kind of open it and take a peek, because it sounds like he saw something, like, fucked up in there.
You see all of the debris. You see the syringes. You see scattered clothing and blankets. You see used condoms. You see so much in here. And looking down the hallways, you can hear the music. To you, though, it does look like the hallways kind of dip into black after a bit, but that's about it.
And still kind of standing in the doorway, Audrey just looks back over her shoulder and is like, gross house.
See?
I'm going to try to force myself to my feet and then be like, how do you not see that? And I'll like look in, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So you look in at the ground floor with all of its debris and trash refuse.
I don't see what I saw before. I just see what everybody else saw.
I mean, I described the blankets and the food and the bottles and the syringes earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I see. Like, how do you not see? What the fuck?
You sure you didn't take a few too many multivitamins?
No, it was here.
No, those were Flintstones, all right.
There was like, why isn't it here anymore?
There's nothing here, or nothing more than we expected.
Okay, that's just fucking weird.
Tori, you arrive at the building. You see the abandoned building. You hear the music. You see the lights. You see three people looking through the door like it's an episode of Scooby-Doo, but they're facing away from you instead of towards you. You can kind of guess from the back that it is Professor Jones, Alex, and Audrey, though all wearing... Well, Professor looks like he's wearing the same thing from the back. Audrey definitely doesn't look like she's wearing the same thing from the back, and Alex is in a hoodie.
I am going to walk up, and I'm just going to stand kind of behind them. I'm just going to go, excuse me, I need to get inside.
All three of you hear that.
Yeah, we know you need to get inside, Tori.
Yeah, you don't need us
This
to get
is
inside.
weird.
For fuck's sake, you three are the worst. And I'm just going to push past them and go inside.
Okay.
Let's go.
Can you do me a favor, Tori?
Yes.
Can you make me your 2d10 roll and add your soul into it?
$15.
You pushed your way through, just forcing them aside. Alex, remove your 1 wound damage as you abruptly feel better. You're not sure why. Like you still feel it in there, but you suddenly feel like it's like when you twist the wrong way, or maybe it's the right way, and the joints finally pop, and there's this massive relief. It's just that like lingering hurt is not there.
If we get out of this, I am investing in Pepto-Bismol.
And Tori has gone inside.
Because
I'm going to follow Tori.
Okay.
I may have just found a way out of demon possession. It's Pepto-Bismol. I've been Pepto-Bismol the entire time.
You're sounding crazier than you did just now.
Yeah. Pepto does some weird things to your brain, I guess. I don't know.
So you're good now.
Surprisingly,
no more puking and okay.
I feel a little bit better. Like I'm just going to take a couple of steps just to be like, am I just double check, steady on my feet?
Yes, and you are in fact inside now.
Well, if it ever becomes too much, just close your eyes, find a wall. I don't know.
Tori, have you gone in and waited for them, or have you just continued on your way?
Continued.
Okay. Can you roll 2d10 and that's not your sheet. 2d10 and add your perception.
That is going to be... well, fuck. That's going to be a 14.
Okay. You're hearing the music and you're getting that same sense that Cormac got of it's not here, but it's like further ahead, a little bit up and whatnot. So you're walking, you turn down a hallway. Audrey, you said you're following Tori?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to roll anything. You follow down Tori and you turn down a hallway. And you're also hearing the music that's going. It's still like kind of not quite here, but it's still ahead of you. So, Tori turns down a hallway and then you turn down a hallway. Alex, Professor Jones, are you now just standing here? Are you going to follow them? What are you two considering doing?
Yeah, I guess follow.
Okay.
I'll follow too.
Okay, so then you're a little bit behind, but you try to like sort of trace their path, and you turn down a hallway and they're not there, so they're probably still further ahead of you, and so you're walking and you turn down a hallway. Eventually you're going to find them because they did just walk ahead of you, and so you turn down another hallway. You hear the music going, and all five of you at your very next turn of the hallway collide into each other.
Well, all right.
We're all here.
Did you guys get lost or something? Because we were.
Not really. I've been walking the same way the whole time.
Because we were following them.
And we just walked forward.
Now you all sound crazy.
All five of you hear noise to your right. And it's the music. And it's behind the door that's right next to you.
Yeah.
It's very heavy, slow, rhythmic bass. And you can hear the sounds behind it, sounds that some of you heard under the music. Could all of you roll and add your perception for me?
Five.
12. You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, I think let's go one at a time for that. So, Alex, what did you get?
13 total.
Okay. Audrey.
20.
All right. Tori.
12.
12. Cormac.
5.
5. Professor Jones.
18.
18. So Audrey hears it first. Professor Jones hears it right afterwards. Alex and Tori, you get the sense that you need to listen closer from the reactions that I'm about to describe. And Cormac, you're going to have to basically be told, or you're going to figure it out once you get in there. But
Cormac.
Audrey, I also need you to roll and add your willpower.
Uh, 9.
9. So it's already making you uncomfortable having to dress this way in the clothes that you wore with Noah that one time. If I didn't say it before, I think I did, but I don't remember if I did. You're going to take -1 on your stability for having to sort of keep yourself together in this outfit. But you're going to now take a second one of these, because as you listen in, you're starting, it's no longer just the clothes. You're now getting more immersed in that experience that you wanted to leave behind. You hear moaning and gasping. You hear the occasional yelp. You hear chain. You hear whip. You hear thumping that's not quite in time with the music. And you see Professor Jones, the look on Audrey's face as you also hear this. It doesn't give you the same reaction, of course. It does stir a bit in you, though. Can you roll 2d10 for me?
I can. Plus nothing?
Plus nothing.
12.
12. It reminds you of parties from some years ago that it takes you a minute to realize that you don't actually really remember these parties, but you're seeing it. You were there. You were definitely there, and you can almost feel the leather of the cuffs on your wrists as you hear these sounds. You can almost feel the sting against your exposed back. It wasn't there before, but it's there now, and the itching at the very back of your mind is starting up again as some of the cracks are starting to fill. Alex, Tori, you hear the sounds after you press your ear to the door, seeing these reactions. And Cormac, there is no room for you at the door because there are 4 people now pressed at the door, so you don't really hear anything.
Well, I'm gonna assume that's where the party is. I trust you're all ready.
We came this far.
All right. Try to keep your shit together. And I'm gonna go to open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there's a small hallway, like a foyer. It leads to another door, and the door is closed. Sitting in front of it are 3 very pretty young men. They're all seated on their knees. Look, as you step in and look closer, you see that they're all 3 wearing thick leather collars, linked together by a chain. And they sort of perk up as they hear the door open and hear your feet approach, and they look towards you. And can everybody please roll and add your soul into this? We'll go one at a time. Alex.
15.
15. Audrey.
12.
12. Tori.
13.
13. Cormac.
19.
19. Professor Jones.
15 as well.
15. They look towards you. They stand up, and Tori, you actually have to steady yourself for a bit, because for a minute it feels like this incredibly large creature is starting to lunge at you before you're able to blink it off, and it's just 3 men, all chained. As they stand up, you see that they are completely stripped, minus the collars. And they look to the 3 of you, and they in unison say, "Welcome."
Hi. So can we go in?
Please, in unison, as they sort of hinge backwards, and the one closest to the door pushes the door open, and the sounds fill this small space. You are all now immersed in the throbbing music bass and the low guttural moans, the jangling of chains, the twisting sound of leather, the snaps, the yelps. This hall is full, and you may all enter. As you do, each one gently puts a hand on your shoulder and just lets it brush past. How you feel about that, I leave up to you. But all three do so, without hesitation, without notice of your reaction.
It's not the weirdest thing that's happened this week.
This is a little odd for Cormac's taste, but he doesn't really think too much of it.
About to get odder.
Great.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I just kind of, when they touch, I just kind of move.
It's a strange sight inside. It's those of you that were at the Carnival of Flesh, the scenery looks somewhat familiar with the staggering amount of bodies all engaged with each other, dancing, fornicating, moving, grinding. Tori, you can swear you hear the sound similar to the party that you were just supervising mixed in to the moaning. But there's more here. There's much more going on. Audrey, this looks very much like that very fine line before Noah went too far. And it's all around. Everybody is involved. There is no easy space for you all to walk without somebody touching you as you attempt to move through. Can you all once again roll and add your soul? I will tell you ahead of time, there is going to be quite a bit of this rolling in this location.
Soul rolls. Nice.
12.
Audrey.
11.
Tori.
17.
Cormac.
10.
Professor Jones.
18.
18. Professor Jones and Tori are the most okay. Still uncomfortable, but both in their own ways accustomed to this kind of environment. Cormac, it causes you to double take, and you go to grab Tori's arm in surprise because for a moment you see the face of a young redheaded woman that you had biology with in your second year who didn't make it into her third year at the school. Thanks to you. And thanks to Tori. You lose sight of her very quickly, but you swore that you saw her. You remember it, and even though she wasn't looking at you, it feels like the eyes have bored right through you. Alex, Audrey, you take in the sights, and it reminds you of Noah's writing that you read on a larger scale. There's something very intimate and raw and disquieting about this. You see X-shaped crosses all around. You see lights lighting the floor, reddish yellow, like two dying suns, like two eyes watching over. You see a tall wooden pillar hung by a chain from the ceiling, and it's rotating. There's something or some things on it. You can't quite see it and get close enough to it, but it's large, and the grooves in the wood are being illuminated by those lights that slowly dim, come back on. You're not lost just yet, but it is uncomfortably familiar. And Alex, can you please roll and add your willpower for me?
All right. 13 on the roll and 2 for the willpower, 15.
You don't completely double over like you did before, but you do instinctively put a hand on Audrey's shoulder for balance as you get that same feeling like you got kicked in the stomach as that just knot hits, that cramp hits. And Audrey, Noah, no, wait, it's Alex, has his hand on your shoulder. And it appears like something happened.
You okay? You gonna make it?
Yeah, it's just this place is...
I know.
It's a bit much.
I know. We'll stick together. You and me, we'll stick together and we'll figure this out, okay? And Audrey, for the first time since this all started, kind of reaches up and puts her hand on his hand. And it's a brief contact, but it's kind of the first real olive branch she's extended.
Absolutely. It's very comforting. It's very lovely. Alex, can you roll me 2d10 and add your soul?
This is going to be fine. This is going to be so fun.
It's very comforting. It's
Just
good.
a comforting touch.
That is another 13 and the one soul, 14 total.
You feel her hand, and you smile and you look up, and for a brief second, Audrey's face is contorted. The red silken rope comes from around the back of her neck, stretched out, crossed towards you, tightening, squeezing, but it's gone. And she's just there.
Yeah, you and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Will the five of you explore?
I thought we were rolling again. Okay, yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah, I'm moving through, totally selling my drugs, and also at the same time trying to keep an eye out.
People don't seem super alert and ready to buy. You almost have to wave it in their face for some of them, because some of them are completely immersed, whether it be metaphorically or fist deep in the people around them. And it's not until you get their attention that they just sort of push money at you and take it, and immediately goes into their partner's mouth.
I knew it was too fucking early.
Are you going into the fray by yourself, or are you sticking with other people?
I'm moving through, I'm not paying attention if they're coming with or not.
Okay.
I just assume that they are.
Okay. Audrey and Alex have made note of sticking together. Cormac and Professor Jones, are you exploring? Are you following Tori? Are you staying with Alex and Audrey?
I think Cormac might have gotten a little distracted seeing Lucy and Milano there in the group, and kind of nudges Professor Jones. Hey, I'm gonna go see if we can find our lad. All right, can you keep an eye on Alex?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye out. And I'm clearly a bit distracted here, but I'm going to do my best, kind of like at the other club, to stick to a wall, not get sucked in too much, but keep an idea of where the exits are.
Go ahead and roll me 2d10 and add your perception.
Good thing you got that super useful map to tell you where all the exits are.
Yeah.
Did you want
Thanks,
him?
Judy B. Jones.
Did you want him, me, both to roll?
Just him. He's the one that was looking for exits.
Gotcha.
19.
19. Yeah, you notice there's a lot of doors actually now that you look into it that are more towards like the walls. You're not sure how many of them lead outside. The one behind you definitely does, and you're able to keep track of it. You're not completely spun around in here.
Yeah,
but there are more doors, and they surely lead somewhere. That there were windows. You saw them on the outside on the schematic or blueprint rather. You're able to keep track.
I'll take some kind of comfort in that.
Tori, as you're walking through, can you roll me 2d10, add your soul?
Yep. That's going to be 13.
Okay. You're walking through, and you come across towards the back a row of cages. They're not particularly tall. They're almost like dog kennels. The first one's empty, and then each one after that is occupied. Each one has its own person, varying genders, all self-stimulating. Some with their hands, some with toys, some with, you certainly wouldn't call them toys, but you did see similar things in Noah's suitcase, so they're used for something. They're all sort of entranced with themselves as they do this. It's not too terribly uncomfortable for you, but it's a little more than you're used to when you have to supervise.
And of course, none of them are Noah.
None of them seem to be Noah, no. Though one of them, with one of the more uncomfortable looking implements, they groan, tense up, and then they just seem to sort of collapse back against the cage. They don't get back up while you're there. They just lay there, eyes rolled back, not moving. Nobody else has seemed to notice. Nobody else is stopping.
All right, well, I'm just going to keep going.
Professor Jones, you are staying with Alex, or are you just keeping an eye on him?
Keeping an eye on them.
Okay. Can you roll me 2d10 and add your soul as well?
Why soul? I'm keeping an eye out. It's 14.
14 total?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to keep your eye on him. You're sort of splitting your attention between, keeping track of checking for exits in the doors, and keeping an eye on him. And there's a point where you realize that the number of doors that you're keeping track of isn't staying consistent. You're not sure if you're just miscounting because there's so much going on to distract you or what, but the number is never the same when you do a quick scan.
Now I'm going crazy.
You're going to what, sorry?
Oh, no, I said no. Now I'm going crazy.
Now you're going crazy.
Yeah.
Alex, Audrey, you're sticking together. Are you staying there or are you wandering and looking?
I think maybe wandering, like not fast or anything, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I will need you both to make the same roll. 2d10. Add your soul.
$16.
that is a 21.
Impressive. You don't see anything. Well, that's not really a good way to phrase it, saying that you don't really see anything off. Everything is off. None of this is the norm for either of you. None of this is comfortable for either of you. But you're certainly not seeing intestines, Alex. And the only blood that you're seeing seems to be consensual. Cormac.
Compared to what I've seen, this is downright normal.
Cormac, can you roll 2d10 and add your soul?
That is a 13.
13. As you're walking, you hear a noise behind one of the doors that you pass. It sounds like there's more going on behind this door. It's not, the party is not confined to out here.
Well, I've been looking all over the crowd. Haven't seen our lad yet. I haven't seen Lucy either. I'm kind of unfortunately having my attention kind of split now. I've gotten a little sidetracked, unfortunately. No one else has taken the initiative to be poking around. I'm going to go ahead and open up this door and take a quick peek. There's not any. Usually in these kinds of scenes, there's certain things that you put up on the doorknob to indicate stay out, come in, watch.
Nothing.
All right, so Cormac's just going to assume it's an open invite, and he's going to open the door.
Okay. Please roll 2d10, and from this point forward, I will be rolling contested with all of you.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
What? No, don't do that.
Damn it, Patrick.
Damn it!
It's
Thanks,
always Cormac,
Patrick.
man.
9.
Cormac has such Millhouse energy.
What was the number?
9.
Okay. You open it up, and it's a smaller orgy and this larger orgy happening. Everybody is just grinding and rubbing up against each other in the most hypnotic way that you've ever seen. It starts to become difficult to tell, like, where one person ends and another begins, as the saying goes. But the more that you get entranced by this, the less it becomes a saying, and the more it becomes a very confusing reality, because you're starting to not be able to tell where one person ends and the other one begins. Your eyes start drifting over them, and you're not really seeing the disconnect. It's starting to look singular. This fleshy, multi-faceted entity that's still whimpering and groaning in unison as it's writhing in this room. Do you continue to look in?
No, it's giving me a mass. No,
It's a good plan. Go ahead and close the door and give yourself a breather.
Yeah.
Tori. 2d10, add your soul.
Okay. That's gonna be a 18.
Okay. You start to walk away from the cages, and you hear something weird. And as you look back, the person that had passed out is back up on their knees, and you swear for half a second that you see the bars that are on the cage sort of curling back into place, as if they weren't there before. And the person who has now gone right back to pleasuring themselves with this very uncomfortable implement has these fresh red lines up their back that are starting to trickle blood off of them. Do you want to take a closer look?
I think, yeah, but I'm also pulling out something out of my bag. I am pulling out, I am pulling out an Adderall.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of walking up, like, excuse me, sorry, trying to offer, like, I'm gonna offer him one. And just like, you look like you could use a boost. Just looking.
He reaches for you. He reaches towards you. Reaches towards the Adderall. Passes the Adderall. As his fingers go to your face and the thumb enters your mouth.
No, fuck you. No.
Are you just pushing him away, or are you like trying to get him off of you?
Yeah, I'm pushed, like, no, grabbing, no.
And he doesn't seem to quite register that. He's very preoccupied.
I am moving away as that has happened, trying to move away as he is just pushing, no, fuck you, no.
Professor Jones.
Yes.
2d10. Add your soul.
Don't worry, guys. I'll keep it up. $16 plus soul is 17.
Okay. As you look around, you see it looks sort of like wisps of smoke coming through one of the doors. The door is closed, but it seems like it's sort of coming through underneath and the cracks on the doors. It's a door that's kind of close to you. You could probably look at it if you wanted to and still keep an eye on Alex, if you so decided to.
Who's around me?
That you know, Alex and Audrey. That you don't know, so many people. Very, very close. You didn't realize that they were that close to you, actually. There's a couple that is nearly leaned up against you as they go at each other.
I'm going to pretend that nothing's happening on me. And I'm going to call for Alex. There's something coming out from under that door. I assume your brother isn't going to be out in the open.
I haven't seen him here yet.
So I think we should start looking at the back rooms.
Do I see anything coming out from under that particular door?
You do. It's sort of a pouring, thick smoke, and you hear something weirdly. You hear something focused from the door. It's more sounds of voices, but they're much higher pitched at times than out here.
I'm definitely keeping my hand on Audrey's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be like, come on. And then work my way over to the door.
Okay. Are you opening the door?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. There's a hot tub in this room. There's a lot of people that are just all over each other in the hot tub, touching each other, laying back in the water, floating in the water, letting the hot water roll over their skin, letting it blister their skin, letting it bubble and boil around them as their skin reddens from the heat, as the blisters begin to pop from the heat. You hear shrieks of pain, or is it of ecstasy, as the boiling continues in this black metal, iron hot tub. And the smoke is getting thicker and thicker. You hear the water sloshing. You see through the steam a hand reach out towards you. It is lobster red, blistered. Skin is starting to hang off one of the fingers as it reaches towards you, inviting.
I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
I don't think he's in that room.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
And yes, all three of you did see this.
We got to find my brother and get it the fuck out of here.
What are the kids into these days?
I don't know.
Really fucked up parables about boiling frogs.
Let's just start opening doors and we'll look in, and if we don't see them, we'll just shut them real fast. It's the only way we're going to cover enough ground.
Yeah, honestly.
That sounds like an idea.
We need to get out of here.
Speaking of doors, Cormac, are you opening any more doors?
I think at this point in time, Cormac's taken a moment to kind of refocus himself. And he's going to start looking for the group. Something's not sitting right with him now, and being by himself right now is not the smartest. He's going to start looking instead of Noah. He's going to be start looking for Tori or the other three.
It's much easier to spot Tori as you hear her telling somebody to get the fuck off of her as she slaps away from the cages that are not too terribly far from you.
He's not playing by the rules. I'm going to run up and I'm going to help Tori get him off of her.
Okay, how so?
If he seems to be ignoring her clear physical boundary, Cormac's going to come up and he's actually going to help push Guy off. He's not gonna punch him or anything, but he's going to shove the naked man off of Tori here.
Okay, he is in a dog kennel. His arm is reaching through the bars.
Oh.
So if you're going to want to actually get involved with him, you're going to have to do a little bit more fine-tuned work than just a push.
I think I'm probably backing away at this point, like just pushing his hand away and like.
Okay,
He's still reaching, but she's not there.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help pull her up then.
Okay.
I'm gonna help pull her up. Hey, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, fucker.
I'm gonna get down there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she's clearly not having it.
His fingers are in your mouth halfway through that sentence.
Fuck you! Fuck off!
You get what you deserve.
Pretty sure he's already fucking baked on something. Fuck it. Let's fucking come on. Let's just.
I'm gonna kick the cage over before we leave.
Okay, go ahead and roll and add your violence.
Okay.
You do that like he's not gonna like it.
Yeah. No one sticks. No. That's a 11.
Okay. You kick the cage. It doesn't kick over. It does rock up and rock back down. And you feel something wet hit your leg.
Okay, that's enough. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Do you see what it is, or you just get out of there?
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. No, this rule number 1. You never. No.
Okay.
Don't look.
No, we got to get out of here.
Okay.
Dude, it's fine. It's just a fucking sex party. Crazy one, yes, but we still have things we have to do. Don't fucking lose your head right now.
All right, you know what? Nah, here. Come here. I'm going to take her to a nearby door. I'm going to open it.
Any door?
Any door. Just random door.
Okay. There's not a lot in here. There's 2 people. There's one man on a St. Andrew's cross. The very tall woman with dark hair, hardly wearing anything, and she's dragging a knife against his back. He seems very, very into it.
Well, edge play is not out of the normal for something like this, so okay, we're fine.
Right?
She cuts a piece off of his back.
That's not okay.
No, like I said, it's an abnormal one, but that's their own shit, man. If that's consent there, then I've got nothing for that. I don't know how they work out their boundaries and shit. That's not for me to determine.
I closed the door.
Okay.
No.
Not my kink, but we don't kink shame, and we have a fucking job to do.
We have a fucking job to do, but I haven't worked a party like this.
Well, I haven't worked exactly a party like this, but I've heard a lot of the same stuff that I can hear now, that I'm hearing now.
What do you mean?
Oh, last night. Other night.
2 nights ago.
The babysitting gig.
What was off about that?
Same noises. I didn't see anything. I wasn't allowed in.
What do you mean by noises?
It sounds a little different than your normal sex party, doesn't it?
I haven't. Cormac actually hasn't really paid that much attention. I think Cormac's, now that she's pointing it out, I think Cormac's I'm going to use the enhanced senses there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead and roll and add your soul into it.
That's a 17.
Okay.
This is going to be bad.
You're noticing. Yeah, there's the music, and there's the moaning and all of the sounds that come with it, and then somewhere in the middle is a kind of droning sound. It could be with the music, but it stands out on its own, but it's buried amongst everything. It's just this rhythmic drone that seems to just sort of layer over everything.
And Cormac's actually started to kind of groove in time with the thrum. He's got his eyes closed and he's...
Look, these people, so many, they're probably already laced on some shit, and the music, whatever's going on with the sounds and stuff, it's probably fueling into it, and that's what they're here for. That's what they're here for.
Look, this, this kind of reminds me of that, I mean, I don't know about in your particular line of work, but the whole altered states, like this kind of reminds me of like that binaural beach thing, that wob, that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, roll me 2d10.
That is a 17.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't fucking matter. You and I have a job to do. If we don't do it, we're on the fucking chopping block.
All right, so okay. So we technically have 2 jobs. I have to find Noah and his replacement. Right?
Gotta find Noah. We already got his replacement.
But we have to keep that secure. So let's find them. Let's make them our let's make them our top priority, and then Noah. All right, let's get back to that.
All right.
Cormac and Tori, you feel pressure against your backs and the backs of your legs as hands start sliding over you.
Get the fuck off!
No. Boundaries here, people.
They seem too wrapped up in each other to notice.
And look, a sex party where consent we're clearly not consenting to this, and they won't leave us alone. This is not our scene.
We have a job to do. Go find Audrey and Alex. I'll find Noah. We have to get it done.
Hey.
I'm not leaving here without getting it done.
I saw Lucy Milano in here.
And?
She disappeared last year. You don't remember?
Okay.
She's here too. Something is not right. I don't want to leave you.
Dude, you've got
yourself.
to stop getting in your head. Seriously, that's been your problem the entire time. You just stay in your head about shit and you get in the feels. Like, you probably were actually friends with Noah, weren't you? Oh god, you really were.
Everybody, roll me 2d10 and add your perception.
Sorry.
That's a 6.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
7.
15.
Okay. Everybody over 10 notices it. The others will pick up on it from everybody else. There's a clambering sound of voices that don't seem to really gel with everybody else's. And those of you that can hear it, look up. And the front door you came through is open, and there are cops pouring into this room.
Oh shit.
Crap.
And people are still involved. They're not quite breaking up from each other, but it's starting to turn into sort of a sea of bodies, and they're pushing against each other, and it's pushing against all of you, and it's sort of moving you all with the crowd as they move around as the cops attempt to go in.
Cormac, it's not illegal to be at one of these. But it's illegal to have drugs on you. Cormac,
I'm fucking holding.
Cormac's just, whatever he's got on him, he's just fucking letting it drop on the floor in the crowd. Ain't no one gonna be able to figure out whose it was in this.
Cormac is dumping drugs as he is being pushed back with hands gliding across him the entire way. Tori, you're funneling along with him. Audrey, Alex, Professor Jones, the same thing is happening to you as you're seeing these police just try to weave their way through the crowd. And they're trying to get a handle on a situation that is completely not aware of them.
Yeah. I'm sticking to that wall.
Our friend, the wall.
The wall, my good friend, the wall. That's the wall brother. And I'm going to try to not get swept up in the crowd and make my way towards one of those exits that I've been eyeing this entire time.
Okay. Alex, Audrey, are you following Professor Jones as he moves away from you, or are you trying to figure something else out?
I'd say we should go with the professor.
Okay. And you three move, the other two move. There's hands pressing against you all over. They don't even know that you're there. It feels sweaty. It feels invasive. It feels warm. It feels sharp. It feels ragged. It feels like claws. It feels slippery. It feels like bone. It feels too hot for human skin. And you bump into each other, the five of you, up against this door that Professor Jones was heading towards.
We got a jet. We gotta go.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
We can talk about it later. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Are you going through the Are you going through the door that you were heading towards then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just open it.
Okay. You open it. It's not really that well lit in here.
Gonna push through. I'm still holding. I've got to push.
That makes sense. You're pushing through by yourself, or are you pushing people like ahead of you to go through?
Either or. Like, I'm making sure that I'm getting through. If they will come with me, fantastic. If not, I'm going.
Is anybody going with Tori, or are they getting out of the way of Tori? I just need to know where people are.
I'll let Tori go first.
Yeah, let her go first. I'll try to make sure that the professor and Audrey are in front of me.
Okay.
Try to put myself in between any like hands that are coming after us.
Sure.
I'm tagging along with Tori. We got here. We were clumped together when this broke out, and making sure that we're both gonna get out of this.
Okay.
I'm just keeping eyes on Alex.
Okay. And you all enter. You go in, and the door slams behind you, and the door locks behind you audibly. It's still very dark, and the floor starts to shift.
What the fuck?
What?
This isn't the exit.
Phone and flashlight.
Okay. Can you go ahead and make a 2d10 add your reflexes?
See a phone. Take pictures.
Yeah, Jesus, maybe if we'd known about the shifting floor, Cormac.
Yeah, where was that in your Judy V.
15.
Jones?
You barely manage to hang on to your phone as everything seems to shift.
16.
Okay, same thing if you're going for your phone.
I don't have the mind to go for mine. I'm more focused on keeping my balance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm less worried about the phone.
Okay, and what are you guys doing with the phones again?
Flashlights.
Okay, yeah, you illuminate this dark area, and you illuminate and brighten up this corridor where all five of you are standing next to each other.
What's the floor looking like?
Yeah, what,
Concrete.
and it's not moving anymore?
What the fuck was that?
Okay, let's go. Let's go. And I've got the flashlight. I'm gonna
Alex,
keep going.
I need you to make me a 2d10 and add your fortitude.
Oh. 12 and the old fortitude, I believe, is 1. Yeah, 13.
Okay. That was very jarring for you, and it's starting to shake things back up again. But the more that you guys go through the corridor, the tighter everything becomes. And it feels like your stomach is tightening, but then your chest and your throat, and it's just constricting intensely as you guys push through. You're just continuing through the corridor?
Yeah, I'm going to have one hand on Audrey's shoulder, and then I'm going to kind of make it gritting through my teeth like this wasn't in the floor plan. All
right, so you're heading down. And now it forks off. There's a couple of doors, one left, one right, for simplicity.
Yes.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, right.
I go left.
We go right.
All right.
One goes left, one goes right. Professor Jones, you open the door and you see the party and all the people inside moving. And
close that door.
You close that door, and Cormac, you go over to the door on the right and you open the door and you see the party and all the people inside moving against each other.
Wait.
The hell? Close the door.
Okay.
What the fuck is all that? Like,
we didn't. No, that's not how we came. What the hell?
Is it kind of
otherwise it's a dead end, right?
Does it kind of look
you can always go back.
I'm gonna pull up on my phone walking distance on the Google Maps to the a Waffle House.
There's no signal. It just sort of has like a gray overlay on the map. You are inside of a concrete internal side of a building.
What the fuck? fuck?
I'm gonna open the door again.
Okay, you see a hallway that leads down a little bit further ways.
Fucking Christ!
That wasn't there before.
Oh.
You take it? I mean, our options are stay here or...
I'm fucking. I'm going. I'm gonna
Wait,
go
Door back
through.
there's locked.
Hold on. What does the other door look like? Professor, can you open the other one?
Yeah, I'll open it.
Okay. Can you roll me 2d10 and add your reflexes?
Oh no.
I just got Brandon killed.
Why did you do this to me? I was
We were doing so good, sorta.
13.
Okay. You open the door and you manage to slam it, but not before an arm that seems to fill the doorway reaches out and fingers just brush against your chest. It's intense amount of pressure. I need you to knock one off of the wound counter as the sheer force feels like a hammer on your ribs.
And I'm going to sit up against the wall on the other side, like clearly losing it a little bit now. And I'm just going to be like, in my head, I'll be like, all right, get me out of here.
And you all turn and you see Professor Jones leaned up against the wall, very shaken.
Okay, clearly not that fucking door. So, shall we? Come on, Professor, get the fuck up.
I'm good.
Yeah?
All right, you all head down the corridor. Can you all please again roll me 2d10, add your soul?
Well,
13.
And
6.
3.
Everybody under 15, please mark one off of your stability. Everybody under 10, mark a second one off as well.
Oh.
Yeah, who's bragging they didn't lose any stability now?
Okay. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I am in a
hurt.
bad way in the brain case.
Ouch.
So now, Cormac, you're starting to lose focus as you get down here. This is a bit much, to say the least. And Tori, you're starting to get there with him. You're usually a lot more steeled nerves, but between the babysitting gig to all of this, things have gone a bit of a 180 from the usual jobs. You were supposed to just, groom them and leave them, and now you're in the mix of all of this. Professor, you are working hard to keep it together. You're already going against the plan.
yeah,
Like you're going deeper. You're not going out. You're not going away. You're going deeper.
I'm trying to get away.
But every step that you turn seems to lead to something else. Alex, you're managing to hold it together, but you're losing focus a bit. And the more you lose focus, the more that the sick feeling twists inside of you, and you feel your stomach bloating and pressing. And Audrey, you are highly, highly stressed. It feels impending wherever you're going. It feels looming. You are approaching something. You can feel it. You feel your fingers twitching with anxiety as you all close in. There are 2 doors along the right side of the hall, and the hall dead ends after that.
I can't do it anymore.
I'm just going to open one of the doors.
We
Okay.
gotta get out of here.
All right. Just opening, looking in, or are you just going through?
I'm opening and looking in.
Okay. It's a big room. And there's something towards the back of the room.
I'm going to leave the door open, and I'm going to open the other door.
It's the same room. The doors are right next to each other.
I'm going to go through.
Okay. Just Tori?
I'll go through.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go through.
Okay.
I'm bringing up the rear.
Okay. Everybody, please
Built
roll
this house should be
2d10.
shot.
Everybody, please roll 2d10 and add your willpower.
Mm.
13.
12.
9.
6.
7.
Everybody under 10, please lose one more stability.
Oy.
Running out of real estate here.
Our list of allies grows thin.
Of course, it's the heartless one that doesn't have so much of a problem with this shit.
It sort of makes sense, though, that Cormac and Tori don't react the same way, because they weren't as connected with all of this. They weren't as involved in all of this. They didn't read that essay that Noah turned in that burned into their brains. So it makes sense that seeing Noah at the back of this room wouldn't affect them the same way that it would affect the other three. On the floor is a mattress laid by itself, some heaps of clothing. It's a digital camera. There's a notebook, open, pages scribbled over. There's wrappers of food. It smells. It smells like body odor and mildew. It looks like Noah has been here, staying here for quite some time, longer than he's been missing. He's not awake. He's lying completely naked on the mattress, except for a crop top. But he's just laying on his back. Do you all observe?
I'm
Check on him?
beating feet
Audrey's
over to
gonna-
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Right there.
I'm making a point. We'll know it when we see it. I'm grabbing the camera.
Okay.
I was I'm gonna go. I was gonna go for the notebook.
Okay. Professor?
I'm staying where
everybody's-
I'm at.
Sorry, what?
I'm staying where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody's in here with Noah. There he is.
Looking for an exit.
There's just the two doors that you came through. In fact, on the inside of one of the doors, you actually see like a weird like makeshift lock that is unlatched.
Noah.
Those of you going towards Noah, as you get closer, you see that he's incredibly thin. His skin is dry. It's actually peeling in some places. His hair is just matted. It's greasy. There's small abrasions all over his body. Dark veins. Cuts. Swellings. But most notably is his stomach, which is distended and unnaturally engorged. Almost as if he's been starving himself and everything else is wasted away. And as you look at the sight of your brother, Alex, you get the same twisting feeling in your stomach that you've had this entire time.
Alex, come on, buddy. We gotta get up, get you out of here. Gonna like slap his face a little bit, not hard enough to like do any damage, but just to be like, come on, we gotta wake up.
Okay. And he like twitches and stirs a little bit. Cormac, Tori, are you guys looking through the things that you picked up?
Now,
Yeah,
I'm. You go ahead. Sorry.
I was say I'm moving closer to Cormac, and I'm kind of flipping through it. I'm just like, get him the fuck up. We got to get out of here.
The journal matches writing similar to the journal entries that you all read before, but it's worse. It's much more graphic, much more inhumane. there's much more commentary on the physical pain, the swelling, the bloating, the pit. Noah begins to stir, and he blinks his eyes very loosely, and they roll open, focused on Alex. His hand shoots up towards his jaw, and as he's tried to open it and speak, you can tell it's dislocated.
Shit. I'm just gonna take off the hoodie and drape it over him, and I'm gonna pick him up, because clearly he ain't moving under his own power.
You pick him up, and there's a wet sound as a pool of blood squishes on the mattress from about where his lower half was as you pull him up. He comes up just fine, but he's been bleeding out the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna readjust it so that it's kind of wrapped around that area. Get as much of the stuff as I can.
You see your brother in this horrid form. Professor Jones, you see the boy, the man whose writings shook you to your very core, battered. And Audrey, you see the past several weeks. Can you please roll me 2d10? And you have a -3 to this roll, as it is one of your disadvantages.
Sure do. Then that brings that to a 9. 9.
He's right there. The job's already halfway done. He did it for you. But the man who broke your life is still clinging on to his, and he's right there.
So anyone who's paying attention to Audrey saw that her expression was not correct for what we found here. Audrey looked quite pleased at this. And now she's just looking back and forth between Alex and Noah, seeming to be thinking.
I'm not paying any attention whatsoever to Audrey at this particular point in time.
How are the rest of you reacting to this?
I'm just I'm not realizing that it's just more stuff. I'm just gonna close it and just all right, come on. Can we please get the fuck out of here now?
Yeah.
Can we do that? We really need to go now. We have Noah. You guys are good. We're all good. We need to get the fuck out of here before cops decide that they've found this way too, and then we get busted anyway. So let's go.
Something tells me that if the cops come after us, they ain't going to be able to find us. Cormac had gone through the digital camcorder and looking for any removable media, SD cards, etc., so forth, and he's going to pocket it. And then after that, primary focus is going to be on Alex and trying to get Noah up off the bed and get him out of here. He's not really paying attention to Audrey.
And Professor Jones, What are you doing?
I'm staying where I was, and my attention kind of turns from Noah to Audrey, just kind of interested to see what she's going to do. Almost like this is like, in a way, the last piece of his writing.
And as you observe all of this, you once again hear a voice on the wind in this windless room that just hisses with pleasure against your ear. Finally. The next thing that you hear, Professor Jones, is what everybody hears. Starts small, and it builds and builds as a wordless scream just rips its way up and out of Noah's throat as his body thrashes in Alex's arms. It contorts, bends in ways that it shouldn't. Alex, you can feel snapping under the skin as you attempt to hold him. He drops from your grasp, bending his knees, arching his back, pushing. He goes erect. He falls. He bleeds from the nose. Tears roll down his cheek. He starts to look like he's moving and grinding at nothing in the way that the people in the party were, but in a much more violent outcome. And his stomach begins to pulse. And the more that his stomach pushes, the more that the feeling in yours fades. And if you look close enough, you can see something moving beneath the skin as he shakes violently. But his body is fixed. What are all of you doing?
I'm rushing in to help Alex with his brother.
Okay.
For what it's worth, storyteller, if at all possible, I'd like to try to use healing hands.
I was going to ask if you were helping him by trying to restrain Noah.
Yeah.
Okay. Please roll 2d10 and add your soul as you attempt to stop Noah from thrashing about.
Easy, lad, easy. Shit. 7.
You hold him and you look down, and the stomach pressing upwards, it seems to go translucent as you see whatever's inside pressing up. He coughs a spray of blood into the air, and you watch the large shape start to push its way down. What are all of you doing?
Can I see the stomach situation happening?
Not in as much detail as Cormac, but yes.
But I can see it moving. But
You
there's
can
like
see the
there's
stomach
something.
bulging and moving, but you can't see the specifics that he can.
Okay, that's fine. I'm heading to the door.
Okay.
Fuck that. I've seen movies. He's got some shit in him. I'm not dealing with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to hold Alex down with Cormac.
I'm not leaving him. As mind-shatteringly bad as this whole situation is, I'm not leaving the closest thing I've got to a friend here.
Professor Jones, what are you doing?
I want the writing.
Pardon?
I want the writing on the floor.
I have it.
Tori has it, and she's attempting to leave the room with it.
Then I'm going with her.
You're following her?
Yeah.
I need you to roll 2d10 and add your willpower. And you're going to have a -2 to this based on your stability.
4.
You want to go with her, but you want to witness the height of this opus from Noah. You're not sure if you can leave, but you know that you need that writing. You need that journal. So if you can't leave, it has to stay in here with you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stop her.
Okay. How are you going to stop her?
She's going towards the door, right?
Yes.
I'll run past her and kick the door closed.
Okay.
The fuck?
Tori, as you didn't state that you were running towards the door, there's no contested roll here. The door does slam shut.
Move! Get the fuck out of the way! Did you not see that back there?
You can leave. I need the papers.
This?
Yes.
Fucking take it! I'm sure
Okay.
throw it at him. Like, get the fuck out of my way!
I'll get out of her way.
And the door opens with ease as Professor Jones cradles the journal. Audrey, what are you doing?
Audrey has just come up as close to the bed as she can get and is just standing there watching with the best possible view.
I have a question for you, Audrey.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to let Noah do this to himself?
Does he appear to be in pain, or does he still appear to
Extremely.
be enjoying this?
It's a mix, but there's clearly pain. There is also ecstasy. It blurs together.
So in that case, Audrey will have kind of come around to stand like up by his head.
Okay.
And will drop down to her knees and sort of like turn his face like she's gonna cradle it so that he's looking up at her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to reach into my purse for one of the objects I have brought with me as well.
Okay. Noah is continuing to twist and contort as it's pushing its way down. Blood starts to drip and then pour onto the floor from his rectum. Alex, Cormac, you were attempting to help him. What are you doing?
Holding him down, I guess, at this point. I don't know if anybody has anything to try to get that thing out of him.
Cormac, are you still in contact with Noah?
I'm kind of torn on what to do here. That he's gonna bleed out, but he's kind of, I think, well past the point of first aid. I think Cormac isn't going to really stop what's happening. He's just gonna kind of cradle up along his friend and just try to be whatever comfort he can during these last few minutes. He has no illusion Noah's going to die down here or wherever this is, and he's just going to be there for his friend. There's nothing else he can do. I'm still in physical contact though. If you are still holding him, then you can re-roll for healing hands. So yes, roll please. 2d10 plus your soul. Mm-hmm. 17.
Audrey, as you cradle Noah's head, you see a gasp as his eyes seem to like focus for a moment, and the shuddering on his body slows. The thing that's going on with his stomach, it's still there. It's still pushing and throbbing, but he doesn't seem to be thrashing, kicking, bending anymore. He looks up and just straight through you as he attempts to focus. as Cormac, you have stabilized him and also healed a level of damage to him. Audrey, he's no longer in pain.
And Audrey leans down, thinking she's tricking everyone into thinking that she's being very caring right here. Whether or not she is, I don't care. And she leans down towards him and she says, "Oh, it's not going to be that easy, you motherfucker. And then I would like to do violence."
Okay. Roll 2d10. Add your violence. Given what you have said, I am going to make the call for you that you are entering a rage.
Yes, please.
You have one. You may spend one rage to choose one edge, should you so decide once you make the roll.
Perfect.
I'm going to move to prevent that using Protector.
That's the rolls we've been looking for. That is a 20, and I would like to spend mine to do brutal assault.
Okay. I will allow Alex to instinctively move as the protector. So you can roll 2d10 and add your fortitude. Because the only way that you can really do this is to attempt to put yourself between them.
You're not wrong. Let's see, fortitude is 1, so it's a 12 plus 1, 13. Which
13.
I probably didn't pull off with that 20.
It's not enough. So what are you doing to cause harm?
I think we're gonna go with Audrey's favorite and take out that plastic bag. And I want to get that over his head and tied off.
So the two of you suddenly hear a rattling sound. And as you look up, Audrey has encompassed Noah's head in a plastic bag as he tries to take a deep breath and it sucks inward. Alex, you try to flail to stop it, but trying to hold Noah and reach Audrey at the same time is imbalanced.
It's too much.
Cormac, what are you doing?
Cormac's the last to realize what's happening, and he's going to do violence on Audrey.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d10, add violence.
Master, you should have come with me.
13.
Audrey, I assume that you are very focused on causing the harm that you are causing.
Yeah.
You
Harm
are going
goes this way.
You are going to take one wound. As Cormac, how are you attempting to cause harm?
He lets go of Noah. Just get off of him, you crazy bitch! And he just swings as hard and as wildly at her face as he can.
Audrey, you feel fist connect with the side of your face as just above your eyebrow cuts open. The red bleeds down. As you look back at Cormac, you are seeing red, figuratively and literally. You're going to add one rage for taking a wound. And Cormac, the look that you see in Audrey's eyes is unhinged as she presses down harder to suffocate Noah. Audrey, if you're continuing to cause harm, please roll again.
I would. Now, since he did an injury to me, does that also activate my survival instinct advantage, since I am choosing not to yield?
Yes.
Lovely. So is that going to be 2 violence rolls? One for...
It's the same one.
Perfect. I am built for violence.
Always the quiet ones.
Should have dressed like a librarian. That would be 18.
Should have given her a Snickers.
18. Okay. Will you be choosing viciousness or adrenaline?
I'm gonna go with viciousness. I'm just here to fuck shit up.
Okay. And are you spending the one rage that you have?
Yeah, to brutal assault again.
Okay. Staring at you, Cormac. Wild look in her eyes. She tightens, and the plastic bag is now cutting into Noah's throat as he tries to claw at it, but he's too weak from what he has endured. His lower body is still contorting as his upper body thrashes for life. Alex, what are you doing?
I'm going to let go of Noah. I'm going to grab Audrey in a clinch behind her neck, and I'm going to knee her in the face until she stops.
Okay.
Just complete silent rage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2d10, add your violence.
Oh, double nines. And my violence is up here. -2. Oh, well, that sucks. 16.
Okay.
I am not built for violence.
Audrey, you're going to take another wound,
Perfect.
which will kick in to the roll again, but we'll get to that in a second. Professor Jones, you stayed behind, clutching your prize, as you now were watching Alex and Cormac fight for the life of Noah as Audrey attempts to take it. Are you doing anything? Or is this part of the opus?
Bearing witness.
Audrey, please roll 2d10, add your violence.
Okay. Oh. 15.
All right. You're going to ignore the injury and continue, and you may choose, again, viciousness or adrenaline.
I'll take adrenaline this time.
Okay.
Why not? And I
what are
guess
you
I might
doing?
as well spend that rage that I got for my knee in the face to brutal assault once more.
Once more. Cormac, what are you doing as she pushes down and digs in harder?
All right, well,
The plastic bag is starting to slow.
all right, well, Alex is broken off from Noah to deal with the crazy. Cormac's got to look after his friend. I gotta try to get the bag off at this point in time. I'm gonna, if I have to pry her fingers off, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do to attempt to break this off. I'm going to attempt to do violence.
Hmm?
I'm going to try to bite a finger off.
Okay.
Now, the Irish master fighting dirty, and this is one of the dirtiest tricks in the book. Don't have
Roll me
anything
two-
else.
Roll me 2d10 and add your violence.
I'm
And
just gonna point out it'd probably have been easier if you had done violence on the bag itself.
that would be a different
too
roll
late
than
now.
violence. That'd be a
It's
different
too
roll
late.
than violence, but yeah. And also, he would have to then get to the bag through Audrey.
This was a bad roll. That's a 5.
Oh.
You go to bite, but you slip in the blood that is pooling underneath Noah. Your knee slams into the concrete. Instead of biting in, you come face to covered face with Noah as the plastic bag is slowing. Tori, you've been walking away from this room. You hear chaos behind you, not just the sound that you left with. It sounds like chaos amongst the people that you came in with. Are you doing anything?
Fuck that.
You're walking back down the hall,
Yes.
back from whence you came, towards a door.
Mm-hmm.
So you choose the door on the left or the door on the right?
I'm gonna open the door on the right.
You open the door on the right and you walk through. Alex, you have one more roll.
Just complete shutdown brain. Must get this woman off my brother type thing, and he's still clenched. He's just gonna let go, you bitch. That is 15 minus 2, 13.
Okay. Because of the ability to endure that Audrey has gained, there will be no wounds attached to this. You do connect with her, but it does rock her a bit, but it does not inflict damage on her. So Audrey, you will not gain another rage off of this. Audrey, please make one final roll towards Noah.
Yeah, no, never mind.
You can add in the viciousness bonus as well because you took that earlier.
Yes, of course I can. Then that gives me 16.
16. You don't have anything more to tack on with rage, as you didn't take injury this round, but 16 is enough. As with one final push against the floor, you put all of your body weight in to strangling Noah as he suffocates from the plastic. And Cormac, being the closest, you see the plastic suck in, and it just stays there. And the only sounds now are the heavy breathing coming from Audrey.
He deserved it.
I'm gonna get up. I'm just staring at the bag. I'm gonna look down to I'm looking at from the bag to Audrey. Going to attempt to choke her.
Make roll to add violence.
Cormac is the most milquetoast protagonist you're ever going to run across. This is a 4.
Oh.
You go, reach towards her, and she just slaps you off, and you slip backwards onto your ass, down next to Noah in shock. Alex.
Being shocked. I'm gonna take a glance down to the stomach area.
Okay.
And then back at her. Like, is the stomach area moving at all?
No. And the pain is gone. You don't feel it anymore.
He didn't deserve that.
He deserved that.
He did not.
You don't know who he was.
I know who he was.
No, you know who he used to be. Your brother was a sexual deviant and a rapist and a would-be murderer, and he died in his own fucking filth like he deserved.
I'm just gonna get up and walk.
Okay. Professor Jones, you've been bearing witness as Alex walks past you. Audrey stands over her victory. And Cormac sits in shock. You look over the body, bearing witness as you were down towards the stomach. And your eyes keep going where the others didn't. As you see halfway out of Noah, this unnatural thing. It looks soggy and porous. It starts to smell. It looks fetal, but monstrous. It has ripped its way out of Noah. The blood is stained down his thighs as this thing attempted to claw its way out, whatever it was. As you watch it deflate, as it sinks into itself. A life that did not reach life, for better or for worse, if one could call that life. Something happened here tonight. Something that these five may not ever be able to explain. Something unnatural. Something that will change each of them permanently in their own ways. As each of them has, through agony and ecstasy, spiraled through their own downfall. And this is where we end. Thank you, all five of you, so much for playing this game with me. I could not have asked for better people to be involved. Obviously, you're some of my favorite people to play with, and I'm thrilled to have run this for all of you. Thank you for working with me through all of the disgust, all of the macabre, and being willing to engage and one-up as we go through. Thank you to the audience for tuning in through all of these parts, watching all of these. If you have enjoyed this and you think that you might like to run something like this, this is available through the cult book Screams and Whispers. It is a collection of scenarios that is a spin-off of Kult Divinity Lost. One final time, I would like for my players, my friends, to introduce themselves to you, tell you where you can find them, apart from us all together. And we'll start with the witness, Professor Ozymandias Jones.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brennan. I played Professor Jones, who witnessed some sort of butt baby birth. Glad to have been there for it. I've seen all of my children be born, and I haven't seen one like this. So this has been great. Those are my links. Great job, Zach. This was awesome.
Now we move on to Cormac Lynch, the broken.
Hi, Patrick Gill. I was playing Cormac Lynch. This was my first official jaunt into Cult. Zach Couldn't have asked for a better storyteller. Thank you very much. This was a blast. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. I'm the head cheese over at Martlet Games. Links in the chat. Socials down there. Time is a Construct. London's Bleeding. Indie Anarchs. We've got a Stars Without Number thing. We have a Regency era V5 thing that Rose has been doing. We're busy. Keep an eye out for things. Stay tuned. Love you all.
And now we move forward to Tori Maddox, the fixer in this situation.
Hi everyone, Samantha McClarty. I've been a Tori Maddox, and I like to say also the moral compass.
Boo!
Sometimes moral compasses point south.
Exactly. I stayed on my track, motherfuckers.
Says the person who has to go to this ritual with no sacrifices in hand at all.
I'm out of there. It's fine. I'll figure some shit out. It's cool. No problem. Anyways, I'm really bad at outros. There's links and stuff somewhere. Follow social media. You'll see what I'm going to be doing in the future with that. Zach, thank you so much for my second cult game. This was fantastic. I loved it. It was great. And yeah, that's me. Bad at outros next.
Now to Audrey Monroe, the Avenger.
Hello, I am Lex. I was Audrey. Hopefully that won't stick with me. You can find me all over the place. I will be on Gehenna Games a bunch, running my limited Sabbat series Ultraviolence. I'll also be appearing in some other stuff there. And since time isn't real, I don't know when that will be, past or future. You can always find me running things, doing stuff. This was a phenomenal return to Cult for me, so thank you very much to Zach for letting me relive my #MurderNone glory days. I look forward to doing violence to all of you in the future.
And finally, to Alex Vaughn, the unwitting prophet.
Great, I'm a prophet. Yay.
Better than a father to a squidgy baby.
I mean, that's fair. I am Steve. I am generally the storyteller around these parts. Keep an eye out on the schedule because we've got a bunch of stuff that all occurs, including everybody here will be probably mid-season at this point or end of the season of Adjacent by Night, which is our Vampire the Masquerade V5 Chronicle. And it's part of that reason that I knew that when I had the opportunity to have Cult on this particular channel, that there's no other group of players that I wanted to do it with, because I knew Cult could get heavy and I knew they could definitely handle it. And thanks to Zach for running the game, because I don't know Cult as well as I really probably should, but now I do because this is my first game of Cult. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with Cult.
Zach took our virginity, Steve.
That's what the whole game was about.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
Message.
And I have been your storyteller, Zach Rivaudo. My Twitter handle's down there. That's probably links over there. If you're wondering about the attributes that I've assigned to the players, these are archetypes from the core book of Kult Divinity Lost. All people are sleepers in this world until they experience something so violent, traumatic, and world-changing that they can never go back. And this is where our story has ended with them. You can find me on ATL by Night, Tuesdays, twitch.tv/ATL by Night. You can find me on Adjacent with this fine crew of people. You can find me on Martlet Games, Gehenna Gaming, Carrion Comfort Studios, DeBard's Playhouse. I am wherever tabletop games are played. Thank you all. I'm already here on this channel, Steve.
I mean, I mouthed everywhere. You're everywhere, Zach. You're everywhere.
Thank you all so much again for tuning in. I do hope that you'll check out Kult. I discovered it when I was brought into it for the first time back in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic, and now here I am running games of it. It's a fantastic book that is a very different world than your other stories. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will explore it more. And we will see you whenever we fall again.